Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey. Cristiano Ronaldo, suey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Your handsome and beautiful faces. We're back with something a little slightly more different. Obviously an ACCL tournament, this one, Pablo, but with the addition of somebody going over to the red and white flag nation of Canada.
Let's get the maple syrup on the go, the Elks and the Mounties, because this is a hell of a prize, man. This is wild. Like, I would literally just type this into some chat with people who never play COD. I was like, this tournament's like all expenses paid trip except for flights to Toronto and Game Pass and Team Pass or whatever and everything. They were like, really? And I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. This is legit. And they were like, that is unreal. So yeah, this is a bit of a special one, something unusual for us to cast over, and you know, let's face it, the players that remain are all thoroughly deserving and capable of doing okay in Toronto. So yeah, this is going to be I think this passion's going to be higher than maybe playing for money.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously we're down now to our 4 teams. Obviously the teams played a huge passion pit over the weekend just gone, and we're pretty much down to our last 4 teams, I believe it is, isn't it? So we've got, for anyone who is interested, we've got Brand New Day, who is the roster of JC Wiley, Isaac, Dizzy T, and Dizzy TT and Pack, and then Snackle Boxes, Snake, Johnny W, Sean, and Runner. That's the game that we'll be covering first, and I'll quickly just show you guys just a quick graphic of the teams that this is the first game we'll be doing. And there's also another game in losers currently going on between Incentive Esports, which is Zero Trunk, Vrizix, and Calvin, up against Moon, which is Linny, Crookie, Kels, and Genesis. So we've got 4 teams left, Pablo. We've got some stacked rosters pretty much in all of them, as we've it feels like an autopilot phrase now that we say whenever it comes to ACCL tournaments, and obviously they've got a lot to play for, and pretty much, I mean, if you pick any of these rosters that goes to Toronto, you could pretty much make a justified argument for any of them really at this point.
Oh, Matt, they've gone through an absolute gauntlet over the weekend to get to this stage. They've played some, you know, every kind of conceivable top player, except for the handful of very top seeds they've had to come across. And it's been a passion pit of its own kind online. So, yeah, these 4 teams deserve to be here. And, you know, you could also make an argument that each team really does deserve to potentially go to Toronto, but it is going to come down to one. And that's what we're here for this evening, to separate these 4 teams. And I'm literally cannot wait to get this underway. I think, you know, it's interesting, the mindset. When you're in this bit where you're outside the zone, it's like quite exciting. But as a player, once you get into that game, obviously everything just focuses on potentially getting that win. And I think the idea of it being for Toronto might go out the mind until they get through each round and it starts to get more exciting. And that grand final is going to be insane. Let's be perfectly honest, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, and obviously this is a big game that we've got now between these 2 of Snackle Boxes and Brand New Day, because obviously this is the winners final, so whoever goes on past this one is going to be in that grand final, where they'll be playing potentially 2 best of 5s, but regardless, focusing on this series, Pablo, we do have our maps for it one, and it's a very structured map set: double Gavutu, double Berlin, and then a Tuscan to end it. So they obviously realised that we've got a long set of casting, so they've gone a little bit easy on us for the pacing on this. So again, this is very much an AR's dream, I suppose you would say, in a map set, especially when you're highlighting the likes of Luke and Snake. Snake COD on that roster. He's obviously going to be looking at this one. We've seen he's had some really good moments, especially on Gavutu, so he's probably going to be licking his lips at this map set.
Mate, we cast him on the Gavutu hardpoint, and he was an absolute turret. He was actually on P1, but I think they were overlooking P3 at the time.
Yeah,
and he was an absolute turret, dropping player after player. So, Brand New Day, we know how good they are. We've cast over them a couple of times. In fact, I think we went into the first game really no idea what they were going to play like, and they did really well. They dominated, and I think the 2 games that we've cast them, they've won both games. So, it was a tight affair, don't get me wrong, but I think the boys in Snackle Boxes have got a bit of a fight on their hands. But if Snake can kind of maintain the form that he had at the end of that game that we cast over last, where he was a turret, and obviously, you know, if we can get the likes of Runner putting up big numbers, and if Johnny W if he puts the passion outside of the game into the game, I think Johnny W can go big. So good opportunity for this team. But again, Brand New Day, let's hope that Snake and that don't come into this game with the same kind of complacency we came into the first cast over them. We were like, oh, they might not do well. Brand New Day and no pushover, definitely going to be a hell of a game to cast over.
Yeah, so I think this will be a very kill-heavy set of slow maps in this one. We've seen what Brand New Day can offer us as a roster. Snackle Boxes, obviously a couple of players there that we've seen kind of move a little bit from kind of roster to roster. Obviously Snake when he was playing with Higgy. Obviously now Johnny's come into the roster. He's now stayed with Johnny. They've now got Runner and Sean in there, so very familiar names. But a roster that hasn't been together a huge amount of time. So again, it's one where they've probably got some familiarity with each other. Obviously, Johnny and Snake have played
100%.
together before. Not quite sure what the situation. I think
Johnny and Runner have 100% played together.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure
yeah,
Sean has
definitely.
been on a roster this year, even I think in this year with Luke as well. So you're still kind of anticipating that kind of natural chemistry, I think, between these players anyways, that is going to be there where they've played with each other over previous CODs and previous years. And Mr. Tom, thank you very much for the Prime sub, man. What a beautiful man. Thank you very much, man. And
I just want to wear Johnny's in-game comms. That's all. I wish we could just get a listening on him in-game comms, because he's dropped some of literally the greatest highlight of the year so far has been Johnny's crying on a Gavutu, no less, as well. So I look forward to potentially. It'd be great if we had listenings. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. But yeah, chemistry definitely going to be important, and communication going to be the key. And the one thing we do know 100% about Snackle boxes is that each one of these guys, maybe Sean not so much, but I 100% know that Runner, Johnny W, and Snake are going to have a lot to say within these games. Their comms are going to be, back and forth, and to a certain extent, each one of them's kind of an in-game leader. Last year doing VODs with Runner, you could see how much work he puts in and out of the game. Johnny W's notoriously, as much as he's got a reputation for moaning quite a lot outside the game, he does put a lot of work in.
Yeah.
And then Snake, we know, is this in-game leader. So it'd be interesting. We talked about this the other day. The one big factor could be that they got too many big personalities in that team. Is that going to be a problem? Are they going to, is that going to be a communication breakdown? So it's going to be interesting to see just whether they're able to get one voice, and maybe that to coordinate them all, or maybe they might, let Snake do the call outs in S&D. Runner and Johnny do a bit more hard point, just to see if it works. But yeah, be interesting. And brand new day again, no pushover. So yeah, I'm proper excited.
I'm intrigued to see how quickly Snackle boxes get started, because previously when we've kind of seen like Luke when he was on the Mistaken roster, that team as a whole was very, very good in the later stages of the series. So if they took map 1, map 2, usually it would be a 3-0 or 3-1. But we've seen so many occasions where they've been a little bit sluggish off the rip to get going in some of these games. So you'd expect them, obviously, with this amount of kind of like potential on the line to go out to Toronto. You're hoping that these guys really hit the ground running, because the last thing you're going to want to do is all of a sudden find yourself 2-0 down in a winners final, and then obviously try and look for a reverse sweep. But then again, like we've mentioned, there are very accomplished players. They've done it all before, pretty much. You expect that composure that we might not necessarily expect in some like the lower divisions in the ACCL. You kind of anticipate at this level now, regardless if a team's 2-0, even just on any COD, let alone Vanguard, how yo-yo-y this game can be in general. You would still anticipate kind of the heads on both of these teams, that if they drop 2-0, any of those players at any moment can kind of flick the switch, and then all of a sudden you get a potential regain on the cards.
Yeah, it's a weird one. So, brand new day, I think they were slow to start when we cast over them. I don't think they could hit the ground running as you expect some teams. We know full well that Snake and his team have kind of slow to get to. But one thing you know about Snake's team is they are able to kind of hit that regain. They can assimilate information. They can see what the team's doing and respond accordingly. We've seen them, go up against aggressive teams and they play more cautiously, or they try and counterpunch. And then we've seen them against, slower, slothier teams who tend to tail a little bit, and they just play aggressively. They've got the capability, they've got the players with the gun skill to play that little bit more aggressively. So yeah, we know that they've got that ability to regain. They do start slow, but I think brand new day starts slow as well. So it'll be interesting. Gavutu, 2 Gavutus as well, is going to make things really interesting. We're so used to seeing a lot of Tuscan, especially Tuscan Control, has been the kind of the fashion over the last few weeks. So it'd be nice to see Gavutu Control back in the mix. It's not one of my favourite maps, but just for the fact that we're just to shake things up. It's not super fast. We know that Gavutu Hardpoint can be a little quick, but then we've got this run of Berlin, Gavutu Berlin. That's a slow middle, and I think that's going to play more into the hands of Snake's team, who do seem to play better, slightly more cautious and slightly more thoughtful. So it'll be interesting. But one thing do remember, mate, is that players like Dizzy and players like Pac can start slow, but they can absolutely belt out big numbers. So it's one thing, we were casting over those first brand new day games, and I was like, Dizzy's looking a bit slim, like he's not doing really well, and then from nowhere it goes and bangs out, like drops a 30 bomb. So maybe it is going to be a slow start, but we know it's going to end with a bang. Yeah,
I think this is when you reach this level of COD, you pick any one of these 8 players to drop some big numbers, and you would sit back and go, yeah, well, they've done it before, they'll do it again. So yeah, obviously on a Gavutu, slightly slower map set, especially this one out of the gates. But the main thing, Pablo, that we always bang on about with these ones is make sure that those rotations are clean, make sure they're on point, and just kind of ensure that you don't give yourself a big uphill battle, because we've seen it so many times on this map where it can really get out of hand for some of these teams.
Mate, the big question is, are trophies in right now? Are they going to be using them? Have they tested them? Have they decided to leave them out? Right now, we can't see Isaac's going to be, not going to be rocking a trophy if it's available at all. We're going to see this contest as we expect to see in P1. But mate, that kill feed already looking kind of tasty for Brand New Day. That is a straight 4 wipe right there. 14-0, but doesn't mean anything on Gavutu. We know if you chain a couple of kills together, and we know Snackle boxes have got the potential to do that this game can be flipped right on its head.
Yeah. And a quick shout out just before I forget to Mr. J Tiny, thank you very much, and to Tabby as well for the subs. So many glorious human beings in the chat. But underway, strong start here from Brand New Day. 30 points pretty much to the clear. It looks as though Snacklebox, they are going to fight for a little bit of contest time. There is a lone man in Sean, last man up. They're going to make light work of him though, as already Johnny is going to be over towards this P2. He has got one man underneath him in Pack, and Pack not going to be able to go through Johnny W. So now an opportunity potentially for Snackle boxes to try and pull this one back. There is a big one-on-one on the hill. Sean's able to win it. You can see now where those spawns are coming in. He's instantly going to realise, but the collapse from Brand New Day. The pacing at the moment, Pablo, just seeming to be quite fast from the team of Brand New Day. They're obviously winning the engagements, and Isaac especially the main focal point for kills. Strong start from him.
Yeah, they've absolutely come out the blocks on fire, man. They've just absolutely dominated P1. They already got control of P2. Isaac is flying right now, 8-2, but not just that, he's got 28 seconds, and they're basically carrying Pack right now. If he gets involved in the game, this could still be an early dominant lead for Brand New Day. Let's not write off Snackle boxes just yet. They've got 3 players who are putting up some numbers, and you expect those to get better and bigger as the game wears on. Johnny W, a little slow off the box, but we said this at the start. He's not someone who comes out flying. He's more cautious and a more thoughtful player, so it's going to take time, but Snackle box is just starting to come good. But right now, 52-15, great start for the boys in red.
Yeah, so around 35 points the difference already. You can see Dizzy going to try and work his way up towards P1 to get some control over that side. And I'll tell you what, the spread at the moment coming through from Brand New Day, they are commanding a lot of the areas out of the map, but one area that they don't have is the back, and Snake is going to manage to grab one kill. Nade over the top is going to land onto Pack as well, so Pack incredibly weak. Isaac looks as though he's going to have a huge amount of work to do on his lonesome. Can he manage to take Snake out the back? Yes, he can. So big kills coming through, but all they need to do, Pablo, is pretty much just keep Runner alive on the hill. But the nades at the moment from both respective teams are looking pretty much on point, as both teams take the players out the hill already.
Yeah, that's been a back and forth right there. You know, one thing that's really nice to see from Snackle Box is we talked about this chemistry, and we talked about that they've played together, you know, in different teams before. Quite happy to give the responsibility to individual players to go and dominate an area of the map, and that gave them that small amount of time. But Brand New Day, man, they came back at them like a knife through butter. They took back control of P3. It is going to be chalked for Snackle boxes on P3. They're going to have to make some hay right now on P4. Major, they're going to need all this time if they want to get back into this game before the second rotation.
Yeah, the one thing that we flag up on this map is just make sure you don't fall behind on the rotations. One thing, though, is Isaac's managed to slip through the net here. How many can he grab? He's still got number 8, Johnny, in the back, and a big kill comes through, but the trades as well will come through as well. Likewise from Dizzy and Pack. So Snake going to try and pick off one, but all of a sudden he's all on his lonesome inside the hill. He's waiting for teammates to try and help him out, but he is going to get absolutely flooded. Takes down one shot in the back. It looks as though those red arrows will still have control. They're going to go for another pinch. Johnny going to lead the charge around the back with a couple of others, as his teammates will now start to spawn up on him. But at the moment, this was an opportunity, Pablo, for them to get a big amount of time and pretty much try and regain this hill. But Brand New Day just snatch it straight out from underneath them again.
I don't even know what spawns I've just witnessed, because that was hell on a shell right there. Because, you know, the guys from Brand New Day spawn out over towards Boat, and the guys from Snackle Boxes spawn out over towards P1. They meet in the middle, we get a few kills. The guys from Brand New Day then spawn out to the back of P1, manage to get the pinch back in and are able to take the kill from the front, while the Snackle Boxes spawn out at the back. That is blowing my mind right there. Incredible spawns from Gavutu, hard pointer. You know, you got to hope that that's not going to be the case right away, you know, for the next season, because they were something else. But P5 again, dominant performance, and we're about to potentially get that 100-second lead from Brand New Day. And right now, that is not where you want to be, Snackle Boxes, because they are in that danger zone right now. That thing we talk about, Major, those handful of seconds where you can start to take your foot off the clutch, because you're potentially gonna, you know, you're gonna be able to get that time over the next preceding kills and just eke the match out.
Yeah, so at the moment, you can see the struggles coming through from Snacklebox just in terms of kills, and the struggle is just going to be pushed out even more as they manage to at least have a few more players over towards that scrap time, and Dizzy's going to have another important kill that pushes that point lead pretty much over 100 now, so they need a really big hold here over towards P1. Johnny just going to be watching alongside this P3 site. They do have Snake in the hill, just soaking up the time. He's got to be careful, though, because number 2 Pack's going to work his way up the steps, but good reads there from Luke, and that's much better there from the boys in blue. They managed to drop 3 of the players. It looks as though by Johnny just lurking over towards this P3 site. He's been an absolute pain, and the boys are brand new day at the moment, Pablo. They're just even struggling to get close to the hill at the moment.
Major, that was absolutely beautiful coverage of Gavutu there from Snackleboxes. They get in position. They're able to deal with the players that are over in mid. They're able to spread out then, get control of P1, and they've got a player still in and around in Sean, in and around that docks area. So right now, full coverage, full control, and they've managed to take the first 40 seconds of this P1. But not only that, they're starting to see streaks. Look at that streak count across the board for the boys from Snackleboxes, Major. This has been a nice resurgence. They brought it back from 100-second deficit back to within 50.
Yeah, huge moments there for those guys. Combined 10 streak before Bronner and Sean eventually dropped. However, brand new day. They are in the next hill, and they are pretty much as set up as they're probably going to get on this one. We know how difficult this one can be to hold a decent amount of time, but Dizzy's going to get spotted. Snake with an opportunity to at least take him down. There is going to be another man nearby, but they're falling by the wayside again here. Brand new day. Snackleboxes are slowly getting some momentum going in this one, and now they've got control of P2. So all of a sudden, that deficit has pretty much completely evaporated now, as they are only around 30 seconds behind this one. Important kills coming through on the hill. There's one, though, that comes through for Isaac. Dizzy's going to grab one as well before Sean trades with the nade. Dizzy going to grab another one, and it's kind of a little bit of to and fro at the moment. An important trade coming through again from Dizzy, who's now managed to accumulate 3 in a row. Johnny's going to try and get inside before his players around him, his teammates are likewise, will manage to get picks. So a bit of a scrappy P2, Pablo, but Snackleboxes, you take that time, and look, they're ready to go for P3.
Yeah, it was a nice break on the 40-second mark. They were able to just see off brand new day and then get themselves a nice 20-second chunk. But more importantly, they've managed to keep the spawn side for P3. They're going to chalk that remaining little bit of scrap time, and in the hope that they can get the spread they need. Right now, big job over towards P1. And it is going to be Isaac who manages to drop Sean. So they're going to get that ability now, that overwatch from P1. So a good opportunity for the boys from brand new day to potentially just try and get those picks. But look at Snackleboxes. They've read that, and they're already looking to try and get some mid-map control. I expect any second now this push over towards that middle. You can see number 7 in Snake is just looking to try and pick a player out before they're able to get any more time, and Sean makes his way through P1. Major, really nice plays, but again, it just shows you this has been back and forth right now. No one really getting to grips with the game, and you know, back to this 60-second deficit. So brand new day just exerting and flexing a little bit of dominance again. It's going to take a big moment from Johnny W.
Yeah, and even so, this is important contest time here, just to delay an inevitable lead that gets pushed out, and they do clear him out, so 7 seconds or so, just to try and work something in terms of spawns over towards the next hill. Luke is just playing it patiently. They're going to have to try and regroup here and just decide where they're going to push this from. An important pick potentially on the cards here for Luke if he can manage to spot Pack all the way out. Isaac over towards the truck as well is going to be a difficult player to budge, so down the beach side they go. Isaac takes down the first. It looks as though Pack will get spotted out the back. Luke's going to need some really crisp shots, though, to clean him off that one. All he can see is pretty much the top of his trim as those red arrows, they now dominate over towards the hill. They're reading the spawns as well. Those players, they're going to start pushing out some of these lanes. It's going to be a big kill, though, from Sean to potentially open up a gateway to push in. There's only 20 seconds now remaining before Snacklebox drop this map. Brand new day, they're really commanding some of it. They are starting to spawn out, though, but they've got to collapse quickly. Number 2, Pack's last man alive in the hill. He's going to pick one. He's going to pick another. There's another man in the back. Sean, though, with a huge kill to at least give his team a little bit of breathing space, but with 9 seconds remaining, Pablo, and look at the spawns over towards the next hill. They are going to have to absolutely leg it.
Yeah, and that's a big read right there from JC. He manages to drop that player and Snake over towards the back. But right now we can see that spawn's just going the way of Snackleboxes. They've got that, but at the back, number 3 and JC has got a big opportunity to surprise these guys. He's making his way down the back, and this is going to be huge reads needed. Number 1 and Isaac has made his way to the front, and Brand New Day looking to get that pinch in, and Brand New Day managed to do the job. Major, huge props to them on that P4, man. They had every angle covered. They got a little aggressive, and that will eventually cost them the P4, but they managed to read that, get the spawns, get onto P5, and again, you know, we talk about if you let the lead slip too much from that first rotation, it's going to uphill struggle to come back, and great work by those boys in red.
Yeah, it just felt as though in that middle portion of the game, when they managed to get that sizable lead, the Snacklebox lads just gave themselves a little bit too much to do. And we talk about if you fall just a little bit behind on a Gavutu, you put yourself in a position where you've got to play for scrap time, but then if you lose the next rotation, you're going to be behind even more. And unfortunately, they had an opportunity at a point to get that P4 and try and break them out of the back, but all Brand New Day had to do at that point was pretty much lock their lanes down. That's exactly what they did, and they pushed the lead out again towards the end, where unfortunately Snackleboxes just couldn't really get a foothold in that P4, and then obviously lose the rotation to P5 as well. So a difficult position, but a strong map from Brand New Day to get us started here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about the start. You know, if you're able to get those first 3 or 4 rotations correct, get yourself a nice lead. It's very difficult as the opposition to bring that back, and that's exactly what they did. And talk about mountains to climb, Snackleboxes leaving themselves with way too much to do, and it wasn't the most thunderous. I mean, Isaac got off to a great start, but as a team, Brand New Day kind of took 20 seconds off P1 and then made their way around. It wasn't, you know, like we've seen in some teams where they take 45 seconds off P1. It wasn't a huge blowout, but Snacklebox is so slow to begin with, and they didn't really pick up until the beginning of that second rotation. And by that point, you know, everyone's warmed up, everyone's firing on all cylinders. But you've got to look, that P4 setup from the boys from Brand New Day was immaculate. They had every lane covered. They managed to get almost a team wipe on the oncoming Snackleboxes, and then maybe got a little overly aggressive. But at that point, they need 9 seconds, and they're going to get that on P5 because they know they're going to get at least one opportunity to get those picks. So big performance from the boys. And we said it before, you know, we've cast over these guys a couple of times now, and they are a very, very solid side. But this is a great opportunity. Hitting Berlin hardpoint, you know, you've got to look to potentially, you know, Snake and the boys, they've played S&D so much. You look to Snake to be that kind of S&D talisman in the game. This is a good opportunity for them to be able to bring things back to parity.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of rosters that Lucas had throughout the year that have been pretty consistent when it comes to Search and Destroy. We know the amount of chows that he does pretty much on the daily with all sorts of players. One of which Felix, which has obviously been quite a refreshing thing to see. Obviously, Felix soaking up all of that knowledge that Luke's got from years of being at the top level of Call of Duty. So he's got a team here. Obviously, we know Johnny W as well, a very intelligent player when it comes to COD. He never really gives his life away stupidly. I mean, you see the amount of times on Twitter where he grills someone for doing something stupid. So you expect that kind of that composure and that level-headedness from him and his teams pretty much always. So it wouldn't surprise me here if all of a sudden we get put in a position where Snackleboxes look very good in a search and all of a sudden we're tied up again.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that, say they take the search, they might not have the out-and-out aggression of Brand New Day, but by the time we hit that control, if they do take the S&D, that's probably the right middle ground for them to potentially be able to dominate. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if it goes 2-1 Snackleboxes and then we see a super competitive hardpoint, which really lends itself to Brand New Day. So we could find ourselves, you know, potentially in a Tuscan S&D. And again, you would suggest that you've got to look to Snake potentially to have the upper hand in that battle, but we've seen Brand New Day on Tuscan and how capable they are. So again, it's I mean, listen, this is almost PTSD for me and Major for you guys watching. We've tried to predict this game so many times and it's gone completely the opposite way. So yeah, expect any result, but you really do think that maybe S&D is going to be ideal for the boys from Snackleboxes, and in particular obviously looking to these big in-game leaders, these guys who have got big voices to make the right calls.
Yeah, so Berlin, Search and Destroy, one of the more balanced when it comes to kind of A-B splits. Obviously we sometimes see a cheeky sniper come out as well here, so fingers crossed maybe at least one point in this evening. It would be nice to see maybe a sniper or two across the cards. But yeah, we're looking towards kind of, again, Pablo, especially in Vanguard. I mean, Call of Duty in general, you look towards kind of first bloods. They're very important. They don't necessarily win you the round, but they make things a hell of a lot easier. And kind of you tend to see on Berlin, the teams that get the first bloods tend to be the ones, especially when you're on the attacking side, if you can pick that first player off and push your way to the bomb site without the kind of the issue of how many lanes to watch. If you can knock down that defensive push to 3 players, having to pick up so many lanes in Berlin, it just seems to make life so much easier on this map.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the geography of the map lends itself to, if you get a player down, you control an extra 25% of the map. That's going to give you bomb site control. It's not like Bakaj. You can lose a player and still win the game just because of it's almost a TDM runner getting that all-important first blood, and that's a headshot straight there. We need to see it. Runners rocking the sniper. But yeah, huge play for the boys from Snackleboxes, and this is going the way we thought it might. JC's picked up bomb. Dizzy, it is going to be the player that falls, and we can see Snake trying to get bullets in, manages to get the drop, and JW again with that kill, so it's going to be JC left in a 1v4, Major, and 40 seconds remaining.
Oh, I'll tell you what, now it's a 1v3. It became a 1v3
Ooh.
very quickly with those shots, so he's now going to have to still go through Runner, Sean, and Snake if he's going to take this first round, but a strong start off the rip here from Snackle Boxes. 30 seconds remaining, though. And although he's got the bomb, you can see those blue arrows, they know pretty much where he is. Snake's going to spot him. Snake gets the kill, and a good solid round on the board for Snackle Boxes. Pablo, as you'd come to expect from this kind of team. As Prezi with the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, man. And yeah, strong start, Pablo, from the team that you'd expect to be very good at Search.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they had a little bit of information there. They've got a player in the window and a player over towards P5, both watching the same kind of entry. So I think they knew that player was there. Lovely, strong start, you know, very solid. You know, in no way felt like it was an accident. So just really good communication clearly between the players and Snackle Boxes. Snake, though, you know, interestingly, we know that Snake can generally make the call outs, but sometimes he can have really slow starts to S&D. Well, this time round, he's decided to screw that, and he's got himself a 2-0 right now. We're at that 1 minute 20 mark, so big opportunity for Brand New Day to reciprocate on the defense, and they do that. They get the first blood with Isaac dropping Sean. That's going to put them into that 3v4 position as we hit that 1 minute mark, Major.
Yeah, the next pick's big. Johnny plays it patiently, will retrieve the bomb, and an SMG as well to go with it. He is going to have to check his corners, though, because Pac's going to be inside. Does he spot him? Yes, he does. Gets a bullet in. At least and slaps his teammate around the head with a stun. So Pac, important kill there to take down Johnny. And now you can see JC's going to be there to reinforce him. Snake, though, just positioning himself in a way that enables him to just flank round both players. Really big moment there for Snackle Boxes. And Luke, with a big brain play, now makes it a 1 versus 2 for Dizzy. He's going to get a pick, maybe. No, he's not. And it's going to be Snackle Boxes 2-0 up in a round where it looks as though it was getting away from them.
Mate, you want to look at the perfect way to trade and support your team. That is exactly how to do it. You know, they're playing in and around the B bomb site. Snake manages to come through from that P5 area, gets to the side, gets the player from behind. He gets dropped. He's able to communicate that he's been dropped from the same position, and both those players know just to sit and maybe bait the other player out. Awesome way to trade, and it's put Snake on a 4-0. Really nice plays from Snackle Boxes and Major. They are 2-0 up in an S&D. They just look in complete control of right now.
Yeah, and it seems we've got one prediction that we normally tend to wave the flag, should I say? Is fluff the flag. Yeah, Snake doing well currently, 4-0, and it looks as though there might be another pick in mid-map. Sean is going to manage to grab one in reply to JC. As now it looks as though they do have quite a lot of command and control of that A site. There's only 28 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to be quick here. The boys in blue. It's now Sean and Runner. Last two up. 2 versus 2. And they've got an eye on the bomb. I'll tell you what, Sean's going to try and stick this. Dizzy's going to have to check it. And is he even going to do it? I don't think they are. Surely somebody's going to check the bomb. He's just going to get it. And Sean's going to get the defuse. And that's a bit of a flabbergasting moment there for those boys, Pablo. You'd at least anticipate they check the bomb, but they don't. And now it's 3-0.
Mate, how my mind is completely blown. Like, how many times have they played S&D and know that the key is to just drop and get onto the bomb as quickly as possible, and it's still not checking. I mean, we talk about COD players, you know, not always learning the fastest, but my God, man, check the bomb. And that's a free round right there. It doesn't matter if you've got 1 player, 2 players left. It does not matter. If you're not checking the bomb, they're out the window and in the next round anyway.
Yep. So another round on the board. 3. Without an answer from Brand New Day, or Isaac's going to have to be careful. There's players everywhere around him. Number 5 in Runner is going to potentially have another engagement, but Isaac's going to just be inside P2, but Johnny sniffs him out and gets the kill. So now it's 2 versus 3. Snake with another important pick to put him at 5-1. Can't quite get another one onto Dizzy, who's now put himself in a 1 versus 2. But you can see Johnny's going to try and wrap that bomb over towards the B site. And a typical position from Runner, who I think has now spotted him. He has, and 4 rounds in a row, Pablo. They look pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, we've been at this position before, though. Is this the opportunity for Brand New Day to show us that they can have a regain? Is it the time for them to say, listen, we're not just an overly aggressive hardpoint side. We can actually, like, make reads. I'll be honest with you, I can't see it happening. Snackle Boxes look so structured, so composed. Their strategies are playing off. They're supporting each other perfectly. Sean's got his feet up. Runner's on a 4-0, about to compete with Snake for kill leader in the lobby. It's going about as well as you could expect for the team in blue right now. Big moment right now. Brand New Day. You fear if they let this round go away, this is going to be potentially an embarrassing 6-0.
Yes. You don't like to see it. You rarely see it in Vanguard. You at least see one, but can they manage to get an important round on the card? Isaac with a big moment to at least grab first blood. Pack's going to join him as well as he gets a kill. So all of a sudden, we've pulled them out and they've managed to start producing here. They've got to be careful not to allow too many players to get caught on the cross. So you can see the toenails of Pack just going to get shot, but the bomb will go down, and this round made a little bit more difficult. And all of a sudden, Snake, last man up, will get shots into Isaac, but you can see the window going to open, and finally the boys in red get around on the board, Pablo, and a much needed one at that, potentially an opening catalyst to maybe to try and claw this one back.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about, reading the opposition. We know the boys from Snackle boxes like to get set up into positions that are a little bit more cautious on the defense, and the boys in red managed to just get themselves into the bomb site and get some bomb site control. It's the first time in the game so far that they've been successful at it, and that's allowed them to be able to get picks. The other thing is they stayed relatively close together, so this time not so spread out, able to get those trades, and that's paid dividends for them. But it's still, one round out of the previous 5. They still got to go absolutely huge against the team who are as composed as they are right now, and Snake hits the 6 major.
Yeah, it's just another first blood that is kind of gifted to them. Pack is going on an almighty flank though, and he's hit it quite quickly, so I don't think they're going to anticipate this, and if they do get the bomb down, they're going to lose position of that important section of the map round the back. Runner surely going to be dead to rights any second now. He's going to literally clash heads there with Pack as he manages to get control of the back, and now you can see number 8 in Johnny's also going all the way round to pretty much re-pinch the pinch. He's going round. JC's going to pick Sean off in the meantime, but this gunfight is going to be the important one. Can they manage to take these players down out of the back? You can see Isaac as well is going on the hunt. They're going to try and at least get some form of body block, maybe, to get the pick. I say JW Johnny, he's going to get taken down. So now last man up, going to be Snake. Manages to grab one pick. Oh, and he gets eyes on the second as well. He's going to just play the timer. He's going to absolutely get his running boots on. But you can see number 4 Pack. Can he get to the bomb in time? I don't think he can. He's not going to be able to. So he's going to realize that that round is done and dusted. So Luke just making the smart play. Pablo running away, forcing the timer, and another round on the board for Snackle boxes.
Mate, Snake by name, Snake by nature. He manages to squeeze out of that stairway without getting shot. He does get taken down that top balcony. It just leaves, what is that, like a second to win that round? So, big brain plays from the boys in blue, but it was, hair's width in the end. Crazy plays, though. I always find it really interesting when you see these players in S&D pushing over towards Statue in that middle area. It's so exposed, and you expect players to be in and around P5 looking for that push. So it still kind of blows me mind with seeing players do that. I mean, it gets you the kind of coverage you need, but again, we've got a long way to go, and this is going to be huge right now. That could be, if he stays there, he reads that, man, that is going to be a free pick. That could be curtains right there for the team in red.
Well, there you go. Sean wants this done in a 6-1 fashion. He's just ripped through 2 players, but the COD timing on that one was absolutely hideous there. So now JC and Pack, it all rests on them here to work. The 2 versus 4, his teammate. JC is going to get spotted. Pack, he's going to manage to shoot Johnny. He is. Takes Johnny down. He's now going to start to retreat out. And, he makes the read of the play, though. I think he sees the ankle, but Runner's going to take down his teammates. So now Pack needs the clutch. 1 versus 3. Takes down 1. You can see number 5, though, Runner up top on the high ground. Snackle boxes. They do exactly what we say every team sometimes feels like it will possibly do, Pablo. They don't do too well in the hard point, but they smack back on the search. And all of a sudden, we're now tied up at 1 apiece.
Mate, it's the one kind of prediction we seem to inevitably get right. If you can dominate on the hard point, but I think we're yet to see a team in the last few months that has managed to dominate that first hard point and that first S&D. It seems to go back and forth every time, and it really does make it difficult for us to analyze the control in any way, shape, or form, because it can go either way. Personally, for me, I think the kind of caution and the pace of Gavutu control is going to lend itself a lot more to that experienced ARs that are coming out to Snackle boxes. But we've seen how good Brand New Day can be. So, I mean, it could go either way. But that S&D is a huge response right there. We kind of expected it, but I maybe didn't expect that kind of dominance. They supported each other so well. The trades were there. The ARs supporting the SMGs really well. And it was legitimately really high level Call of Duty coming out to Snackle boxes, and it's what we love to see.
Yeah, it was very, very clinical from Snackle boxes. They played for first bloods well, and they had rounds where they got the first blood, and then the second kill pretty much came almost straight after. So now a good opportunity, Pablo, for them to obviously draw it and tie it back up, should I say, put themselves kind of pretty much back to level, maybe mentally as well, as a reset after map 1. It's a good springboard round if you're going to get slapped potentially on map 1. The last thing you're going to want to kind of do is drop map 2 as well. They've done the complete opposite. They've regained, and we go to, again, another more slower paced map. Obviously, Gavutu anyway is slow paced, but when you get to control and live start to come into it, obviously that aggression has to be a lot more controlled. So you could argue again that Snackle boxes might do a little bit better on the control than in comparison to the hardpoint, and hopefully they've picked up a little bit of momentum. We get a slightly closer map than we've had pretty much map 1 and map 2 for either team.
To be honest, Gavutu is one of the few maps that really does play into the hands of a stiffer AR. You know, you don't necessarily need to be as mobile. Your SMGs who are going to be wanting to get onto the control points, going to need that kind of coverage and that kind of cover from players who are able to drop 3 and 4, you know, across the board from one position, whether it be top boat, whether it be from ring, whether it be, you know, from whatever position, even from kind of like way back getting that middle map coverage. You want a stiff AR who's going to drop numbers. Yeah. Well, Snackle boxes are absolutely rife with those kind of players who aren't necessarily as mobile, but will absolutely put figures up in control. So good opportunity for them to go into that a 2-1 lead, and I think they're going to need it, because going into a Berlin hardpoint, brand new day again, that super aggressive side, they look so good on hardpoint. I think the boys from Snackle boxes might actually need this map in order to potentially take this to game 5. So big moment for them, and a good opportunity for brand new day potentially to make us eat our words as well.
Yeah, so Gavutu control, obviously, we bang the drum so many times, Pablo, about hitting a B point quick. Even if you don't get the point, you might get a tick, and even if you don't get a tick, at least you force players away from that A point to kind of open up the door for you. So we get a little bit frustrated sometimes with teams when they hit the A point time after time after time off the rip, and it doesn't work. We know how difficult it can be when players get pinned in towards their spawn, especially when they're on the offense. So we can sometimes see teams get blown out when they're on that offensive side and they don't get the good start that they opt to do. So hopefully in this one we see kind of a little bit of a switch up from potentially one of these two teams at least, to try and hit that B point quickly and try and force out the positioning of the other team.
It's a no-brainer. Like, send one at least. You know, if he's going to get dropped, you've got information that there's a player out towards beach, and that's going to give your guys the green light to really stack A. But if he doesn't, if he's able to get onto the hill, it's going to stretch the opposition out. You're going to stop the clock anyway. Potentially going to be drawing fire away from that preferred site, and then you're going to be able to stack the opposite control site. So realistically speaking, it's a simple and effective strategy. Again, if you just go and stack 1 point, if you go and try and push for A wholeheartedly, again, it just becomes a war of attrition. It becomes a battlefield, and you don't necessarily need that. That is not what control's about. You want that kind of like, you've got to have more brains than just simply being aggressive like you would do in hardpoint.
Yeah, well, it looks as though it's going to be a pretty standard A push here from those boys in red. Brand new day, they're just going to get onto it. Dizzy is going to be the lone man, just slowly getting progression, and JC, you're going to be watching over the middle portion of the map. It looks as though Johnny's going to manage to grab a pick, and now they're going to try and collapse on these players. Runner with a big gunfight, but he's not able to win it. Dizzy is going to grab a couple before his teammate Pack helps him out a little bit, and that was a very, very optimistic hit fire there from Pack from distance, but he is now going to get back on the point. You do feel surely that Johnny is maybe going to go in for another rechow, just checking to make sure if he can shoot any toenails there through the tank. It doesn't look as though he's going to be able to, and those red arrows, they've got a big presence over towards that A point. The A point has been completed, Pablo, pretty quickly, but we know how difficult this B point can be, and Pack looks as though he's going to try and make that play to cause the upset around the back.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job of getting that kill lead as well. They've got a 4-life advantage. They've given themselves nearly maximum time, over 2 minutes, to try and get this B. And with their slaying power right now, it's kind of worrying from a Snackle box perspective. You know, if they're not able to get set up and able to hit the kind of kills they need, this could be a really quick control round. Again, it does look like the guys have decided to chalk it a little bit and just kind of try and regain and get together over towards ring. And you can see that spread from Snackle boxes right the way across the map. They're going to look to try and get some mid-map coverage. But again, number 5 and Runner is a little bit out of the game. But it doesn't matter, because Johnny W and Co have managed the team up, drop a couple of players, and they're looking really, really safe in their defense right now. And this B point's going to look very difficult to break down for that team in red.
Yeah, and while Johnny's on the point, with all those ARs just watching over the top of him, it's going to be so difficult. Dizzy's going to get spotted. Some nice shots. No, maybe not. Snake, though, will manage to finish him off with the nade, and they're going to stop that player from transitioning to the point. And Dizzy going to grab one pick, and he will get a second as well. So onto the point they go, but you can just see literally the firing team that is watching over the man that tries to transition in. Pack's going to be the man who gets inside. They are going to get on the contest, though. They're going to try and force those red arrows to at least push him out here. And Sean's going on a really quick flank here. JC's going to have to try and make the play here because they might get two. There's one for Sean. He's going to chow around the second. He's got a teammate with him as well. And this P1 control at the moment, Isaac's managed to get some really good timing around the ring. You can still see there's a few more players, though. Takes down one. Still more players nearby. They've got to be careful, those Snackle boxes, Pablo, because they are starting to drop a few lives here. And they've only got 11 remaining. 48 seconds left on the clock. A brand new day. Likewise, they're going to have to be careful of the timer.
Yeah, really nice play from Isaac over towards ring. He managed to play his life. He managed to get a couple of picks. He drove Snackle boxes off ring. They have managed to be able to drain that back to no ticks, though, so it's almost like starting all over again. They've got themselves that 4-life lead, though, again, and they've just looked so good in terms of slaying right now. Make that a 5-life lead, and you've got to look. Dizzy's gone absolutely off. We talked about the start of before the game started. We were saying how he can drop big numbers, and right now he's proven it. He's double positive and looking very, very tidy. And with 32 seconds to go, 5 lives is no lives at all.
Yeah. They've done a really good job of keeping these players alive on the hill. You can see that Runner went on a flank. He wasn't able to do it to a good enough effect. And now 3 lives remaining for Snackle boxes here. They've got to at least take the man off the hill. JC's going to manage to stay alive, though. So 30 seconds left, but they've only got 2 lives. We've seen more impossible situations, though, which have managed to work. Sean, big pick. Needs the next one onto Dizzy down low. He's not going to get it, unfortunately. The lives are going to get the better of them. And brand new day, Pablo. They take the opening round, and more importantly, they take the attacking round.
Yeah, that's huge. That is absolutely massive for these guys. And the firepower and aggression really coming to the fore, and then Dizzy stepping up. We talked about these players from Brand New Day. They'll have like quiet games one round, then they'll go absolutely huge. Dizzy, really nice respawn player, 11 and 5. He's dragging his team through this. But everyone on the side of Brand New Day doing good work. So Snacklebox has a lot of work to do if they're going to make the ground back up, because right now they are not getting the kind of picks you would expect them to get. And players like Sean on 4 and 10, and Snake, who does occasionally characteristically have a quiet game. Unfortunately, he's decided to make it this control. We do see Sean pick 2 kills up, though, so there's a little bit of a resurgence right now. A brand new day, definitely in the driving seat, Major.
Yeah, so they've got control of the top boat here with Isaac up here. Can he get the pick? No, Runner's going to take down one. They are trading around him, though. Looks as though Pack and Dizzy are going to try and work a little bit of magic. And is some timing going to get the better of Johnny here? It will. So he falls. And just by having that player in JC, just watching the cross, it's going to be difficult for those players to reinforce. They're going to try and force their way out their spawn. He's going to tag up a few more players, though, JC, before he is going to eventually retreat. But he's going to retreat into the shots of Sean, who's already just toying with the idea, potentially, of getting over towards the B point. You can already see that Isaac is here, ready and waiting. Is going to stun him, going to try and transition. Oh, no, I don't think Isaac managed to see him work his way around the side, so he's going to slip through the net. Sean takes down one, and while he's just being a bit of a nuisance over here, Pablo, he's just enabled his team to get on that A point, push themselves up in positions to stop those players from crossing in, and that big play there from him is going to potentially enable his team to get this A point done.
Mate, I mean, we talked about it before the game started, and we've banged the drum for the one player to be over and over again. It gives you that opportunity to get the time to allow your team to stack over to the other point. But right now, that is a huge play. He took a different route. He managed to get a kill. He managed to draw attention over towards those guys. And that, not only has that changed the face of the ticks, but they've gone from being in a life deficit to being in a 6-life positive. But with only 22 seconds remaining, Major, they need to get onto these points. They need that A-bombs, A-control site dealt with right now. They need this final tick, or this is going to be problems for them. They only left themselves 1 minute 20 if they do get this to get that B point. So I think this is going to come down to TDM again. I think they're going to need to get some picks and get some kills.
And more importantly, Snake is 1 away from a glide bomb here, so this is a big moment if he can get it. Whether he opts to use it on another defensive round or another offensive round, it's still going to be a little bit to add to their potential arsenal for anything that they try to work. So we will just stay on board with Snake here and see if he can get that all-important kill. His teammate's going to try and bait out for him a little bit. Spots Isaac, tags him up, and there you go. The good teamwork coming through there from Johnny and Luke. Good work from those two. And it's going to enable Snake now to be fully streaked out. It's going to be an opportunity as well for some more lives to potentially fall by the wayside. Over towards ring, though, you can see Sean. He knows there's a player around him. Just can't quite locate JC, who's just laying prone, while Dizzy and the rest of the firing squad are just going to lock themselves in a position out the back of the map. And it's going to be potentially an opportunity here for Brand New Day. If they play this patiently, Pablo, to, although they're trailing by lives, play this consistently, play it carefully, and maybe rinse the timer a little bit here.
Yeah, this is 100% an opportunity to just waste time. With 25 seconds remaining, life count potentially not going to come into it. They just need to play their lives, get the picks, and just if they get one more wipe, I think this is game over and potentially a 2-0 brand new day with the big defense needed right now, and they're doing it admirably right now. No one able to get onto the point. That is a huge play by Johnny W. He's going to get that kill. That's huge, Major, right there. And the support coming in from Snake with the AR, but it is going to be dealt with, and he's going to force him to rush onto the hill. And Major, honestly, they get a few more kills, and I think it's 2-0 to brand new day if Snackle boxes aren't careful.
Well, that was a position for the boys of Snackle box where you think, right, you're up by, what was it, 8 lives, I think, at one point, and they had a golden opportunity to maybe take that, but they just weren't able to clear those red arrows out the back. They were just watching over the players that were just close enough to at least get a contest if they needed to. They managed to just kind of rinse that timer second by second, and Snackle boxes, although they had the life advantage, they were just kind of forced to funnel at least one man on the hill every time they tried to throw a body at it. They just weren't able to get the man on the hill and keep him alive for long enough. So brand new day, although it was a round where you surely had your money on Snackle boxes, all of a sudden now they're one round away from getting this done 3-0.
Yeah, this is looking very, very strong for them, and they're back on the attack, and you just would not put it past them to do this. And what a response, Major. What a slap back from that S&D. You know, all right, 6-1, you did that. Look what we're going to do to you on control. 3-0, well, we're not quite there yet. They still got to get through these 4 players, and this is a big ask. You know, that attacking round, I think it just threw the cat among the pigeons. I think Snackle boxes are going to play this slightly differently, and, you know, one thing we've talked about, Major, is the ability from Snake pod teams, their ability to assimilate information, to regurgitate it, and to try and dominate. So do not be surprised if we see a little bit of a resurgence from the boys in blue. Yeah,
one thing they're going to have to worry about, as you can see here, is they need this man off the point. Isaac will get one. Surely the trade comes from Sean, and it will. He'll do well to stay alive here, though, because JC's cooking him up something special. Oh, he's not able to connect the nade, though, and the shots from Sean so close to getting the kill over the line, and they do actually get some more control over towards the A point, and number 5 runner here going to get aggressive up this left side of the map. He's not going to be able to get any picks, so neither will Sean, as again another man going to head over towards that B point. And every single time that they just get that one man over there, Pablo, you can see the attention of Snackle boxes is just going to be prioritized over there, and it's going to potentially allow those players to progress up the map, which it looks as though with the kill onto Johnny, that's what they're going to try and do.
That was a huge moment. Johnny really needed to get that. He needed that control of their spawn, at least to pass information on. He gets tagged up. That allows the boys from Brand New Day to start pushing back over towards both. If anything, I think they've been a little slow in response. I don't think they understood quite how much of an advantage they had once Johnny W was dropped. They have managed to get back onto the A point, but Major, with 28 seconds remaining, they desperately need this A. That's a huge kill as well from Isaac, who's had an awesome game right now. Dizzy and Pack are just putting big numbers up, and they've managed to see off that 8.1 minute 25. It's 12v12. It's the closest we've seen the game so far in this control, and you would still suggest it's advantage Snackle boxes at this point, but they've managed to throw it away in the previous 2 rounds. Brand New Day are on the back foot though, and the boys in blue have got themselves pretty nicely set up. But number 1, Major, JC out in the back.
Yeah, so the longer that he lurks over here, the potential opportunity there will be for those red arrows to get over towards the point. You can see already, we're going to see a glide bomb come out now from Pack. He's going to opt to use it. How many players can he clean? He's going to clean Sean out the back. So there's one, and now surely that's the green light, but you're going to see a glide bomb. Tennis a Snake, throws one back, grabs 2, and now it's 8 lives, plays 7, and it's got to be careful here for both teams because they're running out of time, but lives aren't going to be exactly favouring either of them.
No, not at all. I mean, it's still 7 lives, plays 6. 35 seconds though, you would expect only 1 potential push remains for Brand New Day if Snackle boxes are able to play this information being gathered over towards ring, and you can see that defense coming in from number 7 in Snake over towards back jungle, just watching for that flank. That's huge kills right there from Runner and JW as they managed to just avert that control attempt from the boys from Brand New Day. And with 13 seconds remaining, this is looking like the first positive that we've seen coming out of Snackle boxes. Nice and controlled, nice and patient, but that's a huge push. And are they going to be able to push onto the hill, Major?
Oh, big kills from Snake at the end of there for a second. There was a little bit of an opening for them to maybe get on the point, but it's going to be a round that goes back in favour of Snackle boxes, so they will hold the defensive side. They did, however, manage to lure the glide bomb out of Luke, though, when obviously they threw that one themselves. It was a big moment, potentially. Luke manages to pick up 2 kills himself, and Jade, thank you very much for the follow. As, we now get in towards round number 4, but we enter a phase now, Pablo, where Snackle boxes are on the back foot again because they're on the attacking round.
Yeah, the longer the game goes on, I think the more it suits Snackle boxes. I think they're usually slow to start in games anyway. We're starting to see J-Dub Johnny put up some numbers. We're starting to see Snake, who had an appalling start to put up numbers. So a good opportunity, really, if they want it. They need an attacking round. If anything, they should be able to snap back. And that's a 3-man wipe right there with a nade coming in from Johnny. Not able to deal with JC. Is going to be the lone brand new player from that first players group of 4. Again, this has got a good opportunity though, and as I say, Major, as the game wears on, it's probably going to play into the hands of Snackle boxes more than anyone else.
Yeah, and they will at least have Isaac over towards P1, so as and when Snake transitions over, oh, there you go, absolutely cleans him out of that one. For a second I thought maybe Luke might have an opportunity to maybe get some progression over towards B if he could stay long enough, but he has absolutely none of that. And meanwhile, his teammates are going to try and get control, but Runner just peeking over the top with the pistol there. Just going to put a few 9mm rounds there, straight in the bonce of him. And now, Snacklebox, they're going to try and get back on the point again. Oh, Pack though, some wavy shots there from Runner is going to allow him to get that pick. And Dizzy is going to be reinforcing him over here, so those red arrows get a lot more map control than what they had just a few seconds earlier. Some bad timing though means that Sean's going to get, again, one in towards P1. Looks as though Isaac's going to try and hit this quick flank here. Takes Snake down, and he might get a second onto Sean as well. So big kills coming through from Isaac. They can allow a couple of players on towards that A point, but some important kills, Pablo, to just, again, stop those players from getting over towards B.
Mate, we talk about, you can have a negative KD. Isaac's 20 and 23, but the guy's got some massive kills in this game. He's Overwatch P1, he's controlled Ring, and he's doing it again. Huge plays coming out of this team. But Pack, we talked about, Pack and Dizzy being the kind of players that can drop big numbers. He's on a 28 and 22. And the boys from Snackle boxes have managed to get that A point, but again, they've got to break the puzzle that is this B point. And right now, you just fear for the guys from Snackle boxes, even though the deficit is 4 lives in the favor of the team in blue. There's the firepower right now on Brand New Day. Expect that deficit to change very quickly. And
I'm interested to see how Brand New Day opt to try and hold this again. Last time we saw how deep they played it in the spawn. Are they going to do the same again? Snake is going to get the first pick. Isaac, though, the nade lands right in his back pocket. You can see Sean as well. He's going all the way around the back again to try and be a bit of a nuisance, to allow his teammates the opportunity to at least get on the point. There's one pick potentially, so Dizzy's going to fall in towards Shutters. He's going to retreat. You can see that JC is just going to be watching over towards that side of the map again, Pablo. It looks as though Brand New Day have just got this setup where they are happy to sit so deep in this back corner, make sure nobody can pinch them all the way around the back and stop those players from getting onto the point. But now they've got a problem. Snake is on the point and Johnny's watching over him.
And if anything, they're a little too bunched up now. They're all in the same area. They're going to find it difficult to get out of this. There's going to be a huge nade there for JC as he takes Snake out of the equation. But again, I think they're just a little too bunched up. They're going to be relying heavily on picks just from sight. And right now, Snackle boxes, the pinch is on. They are closing in slowly but surely and playing their lives really well. That's a huge kill there. Runner goes huge. And they are back on board with 21 seconds remaining. There's still a lot of work to do. It's 8 lives, plays 4. So advantage Major still with Snackle boxes.
They need this next kill. This next kill is huge. If they can lock the player lives down to 3, it's going to make it. They've got one last go at this pretty much with the amount of time they've got. They've opted to regroup. But look at number 5 Runner. He's got to get the pick. He's not going to get it. And it looks as though Snake's going to get the trade now. It gets messy. Number 3 Pack. Can he get another? Yes, he can. But now they've still got Sean on the point. He's stopped the timer. He just needs to stay alive. Can he take down Isaac? There's one for him. Those red arrows, they're trying to get rid of him oh so quickly. And it looks as though with 2 seconds remaining, they're not going to be able to touch the point. And that is going to be the map. Snackle boxes, they are going to manage. Oh, hang on. Am I tripping?
What? What just happened then?
Lives. Oh my god, lives. I've just gone brain dead. The nade. Oh my god, the nade got the kill out the back and then he killed him. Oh my god, I've not seen anything like that. I thought that was done. Oh my god, Pablo, I've had the biggest brain fart with that god nade that came over the top. They're still alive.
I swear down, that game ended before that nade dropped. Honestly, that was like, that must have been right on the point. Unbelievable from Call of Duty right there. Don't even stress, mate. Everyone's been played by that one. What a Kobe right there for Snackle boxes.
How close
man,
was
if
that?
they win this control, mate, if they win this control, someone buy that man a pint, because that was unreal play. I didn't see it. You didn't see it. Mate, this game is insane at times. Absolutely insane.
I need to go back and see how much time was on that. I swear, the timer went off.
Be like 0.1 seconds. Got to be 0.01.
That's got to be. I swear I saw the timer go down. Maybe I need to go back to Specsavers and get some new goggles, but my god, that must have been close. And like you say, Pablo, if Snackle boxes come out and win this one, albeit they're on the attacking round, my god, what a moment that was.
My brain is completely gone. Like, I'm the same as you. I was calling that. What a great defense from Brand New Day. Well, shut your mouth, because what a nade that was. A Kobe from the back, and it's going to give Snackle boxes the opportunity. They've got a 3-life deficit right now, and obviously look at that spread right there. Map coverage from the boys in red. They're going to get some picks, but it is going to be number 6 in Sean, who's managed to make his way around the back. He's going to get onto the point, and that's going to stretch that team in red right out. Have they read how many players are pushing through ring right now? The kill feed is completely blue. That's going to be a big moment, though. That's a huge kill. The 2 players fall. That is huge right there if they're able to get onto this B point and stack it.
Oh my God!
What have I just seen?
What is this
JC, what is going on with the nades? Have they been buffed? What is going on?
I have never seen a more mad control. That was a triple nade. They were literally holding hands on the B point. They were so eager to stack it. And the God nade from JC has just landed in the back pockets of all of the players on the point. This has been the weirdest Gavutu control I think I've ever seen. And now Snackle boxes, they're in a position where it was looking so optimistic. Everyone drops, and now they really need to get this A point done. 16 seconds, there or thereabouts, to get this point and at least buy themselves another minute. But Pablo, lives are starting to run out, but they are starting to get picks as well.
Oh my God, my brain is completely fried. If that was a glide bomb, you'd be like 3 kills, but a nade? Oh my days, Brand New Day have gone off in this map. They were 2-0 up. It's back to 2-0. That previous round, Insanity, was seeing big nade. I mean, the flex from that nade is unreal. 14 lives, plays 8. Make that 13. Johnny with a huge kill on Major. If you're a Snackle box fan, that kill feed is exactly what you needed to see. They've got to stack over towards A, and now they've got a player. It's going to cause some commotion over towards this point. And if you want one player, Major, right there, well, unfortunately, you wanted Johnny W. He is going to get tagged up, though. Huge plays. My brain's fried, and we're only in map 3.
Well, now, surely we're not going to get another moment like that. So apparently the timer went to the dashes. It was so low. That is apparently what happened, and that's why I thought the game was done, but it wasn't. So now they're going to have to try and work their way over towards the B point. We've seen how good Brand New Day have been at locking this down. Sean's going to go, again, round the back. They've got an issue, though, because JC has managed to work his way on that outer lane. So with 30 seconds remaining, but only 4 lives left, they have got to play this perfectly now, Brand New Day. Can Snake get the info that he needs? He knows he's there. Surely the trades are going to come through. It looks as though number 5 in runner is going to get him out of this boat, and he will. So now down to 3. Next kills are big. They're trading them out left, right, and centre. Snackle box, and they've only got 17 seconds to get on the point. Isaac needs to stay alive here. Can they get the picks? Dizzy gets 1 on the rock, and he snaps onto the 2nd. Oh my God, and they've managed to do it. Brand New Day. Oh my goodness, what has this map become? For a second, Snackle boxes, all they had to do was just make the trades. They weren't able to, and the map's done.
Mate, how are you expected to cast this Insanity? How is it possible that we can cast this absolute madness? Pack dropping a 4. Didn't even notice Pack dropping a 40 bomb with 32 untraded kills. What just happened? Mate, I could throw nades for the rest of the year and never drop a 3-piece on B control. Why are they holding hands in the point? It's a mother's meeting on B. Absolutely floors them. And Brand New Day, mate, you've got to say that was a turn up for the books for the boys for Brand New Day and Nakavutu control. Man, they are going to be confident going into Berlin hardpoint right now. See, I honestly, each of them needs to be packing a nade, and they just need to be launching them out, because right now this has just been... Mate, my brain is gone. They have Kobe'd their way to a 2-1 lead.
Mate, what was that map? What was that map? There was
what are the
3
dashes?
rounds.
What the hell do you mean
I know.
dashes?
Yeah, so apparently,
it's and then it's over.
Yeah, that's why I saw the dashes and I was like, well, the game's done, because the dashes have come up, the timer's done, and then all of a sudden we get the round after, which is even more madness with the triple nade, and then we get a moment right at the end where it looks as though they're going to grab it, and then all of a sudden they don't. So, I mean, what was that map?
So what you're telling me is there's time, and then there is outside time, beyond time, where there is a nade. Is it like the 10-second clock in basketball? Like once it's left your hand, it kind of still counts, because that's never done it for me before. But that is, I mean, that's made for an exciting game. But oh my days, I mean, my mind's blown, absolutely blown. Thank God trophies aren't in today. Just thank God trophies aren't in today.
My God, I mean,
we don't get any of that nade action. Nothing happens there if trophies are in today.
Well, I mean, we can hit a regame, because I've been told to restart my game and I've got to do the shaders again, so hopefully we can do that very shortly. But wow, that allows us to at least breathe. before we get in towards map 4, because if we get another map like that, holy moly. And oh, Mr. Bookie, the whammo man from the gym, thank you very much, buddy, for the sub. What a handsome man. Bookie, mate, where have you been? Where have you been? Thank you very much, mate. And well, I mean, we go back to, hopefully, Pablo, what will be a pretty standard map with a bit of excitement, where we're not going to end up in a situation where we're going to get heart palpitations.
Yeah, I just want to be able to read the game effectively and accurately. That would be nice, just be able to understand what's actually gone on, because, I mean, not only were we not able to read the game, but we missed what was ostensibly one of the best nades of the year in the process because of the timing. I mean, a lot of the time, listen, if you haven't cast before, you spend a lot of time looking at the mini-map. You don't spend a great deal of time watching the actual play, and so we're going to miss the occasional thing, but oh my days, that has got to be, please tell me someone clipped that, because that has got to be one of the nades, or if not the nade of the year, but then it's immediately followed up by
another nade.
And
a huge shout out to Ant, because he's obviously been casting that other game in the losers bracket. Thank you very much, Ant, for the rake. We get some love showing Ant. And if you guys haven't clicked on that profile and dropped him a follow, he's been incredibly generous with the amount of casting that he's been able to do in the meantime as well, for covering the other ACCL action. So make sure you head over to the Rotation TV channel, and obviously on Twitter as well, and drop him a follow on both of those, because he's putting an incredible amount of work into the scene at the moment. But guys, if you're coming on board here with Ant Stream, you've just missed pretty much the most ridiculous game of Control that we have probably ever seen. A nade in 0.1 seconds that all of a sudden keeps a team alive, then a triple nade in the next round, and then a round at the end where one team should pretty much get it done, and they don't. So if you do get a chance to rewind it and watch that map while we get ready for the next one, by all means, feel free to do it, because it was an absolute madness.
I mean, I'm still kind of breathless from it. I honestly don't even know where to begin. It was like Prezi sent across the screenshot, and it's 0.01. It's so close. I mean, we're talking the absolute minimum amount of time available and beyond to get that nade down. This Control's been unreal. I mean, we said that Snacklebox is a team they're slow to get started. Well, and like, guys, they need to get off the ground right now. They're gonna need this Berlin hardpoint. They're gonna need to hit the ground running. They're gonna need to be as aggressive as they possibly can be. Otherwise, they're gonna get dealt with, because right now Pac and Dizzy are dropping huge numbers. 32 untraded kills in the Control. Like, this is against a team who spent the S&D trading perfectly. I mean, perfectly at times. And we talked about how good their ARs are. And when we talk about good ARs, we're talking not just about getting kills, but supporting your SMGs so that they can get onto site, they can get that breach and then get control of the area. Well, we just did not see that effectively from the boys in blue. They're going to need to do that now. They're going to need to rely on their ARs in this really big map, and they're going to need to go huge. If anyone can do it, it's going to be these lads. But we've said this over and over again, and they are on the precipice right now. Yeah,
at the moment, brand new day, they've just had, although we've had a lot of moments of madness, we've just seen those slight clutch moments where they get a 2 or 3 piece. I mean, the 3-piece with the nade, for prime example, but a couple of kills. Obviously, Pax had moments where he's come up with big kills where it looked as though, especially in the Control, they had an opportunity to get on towards the site. They weren't able to do it, and it's just amounted to them taking the map in such a slim margin. And we talk about now with Control being in the game, Pablo, how much of a swing round it is. And obviously, now going to another respawn, brand new day, they're probably feeling themselves and going, right, okay, we looked good on the hard point. We've got the Control over the line. Don't let this go to game 5.
Yeah, and the thing that's got to be worrying from Snake's perspective is we were like, you know, they've got this Control, they've got great ARs, it's a stiff map, it's going to be ideal for them. They're going into Berlin with that's the same thought process. It's a bigger map. You've got, you know, potentially you've got these longer rotations. Your ARs are going to be prominent. Well, I mean, they just weren't prominent or as prominent as the team in red. So this is a big opportunity now for brand new day to just put them straight into that losers bracket, and they can put their feet up for the rest of the evening until the grand final comes around. So, you know, Snacklebox has got to dig deep now. All that experience that they've got in these kind of positions in finals and going up against big teams, they're going to have to dig fairly deep right now if they want to see, you know, themselves not fall into the losers bracket, have a relatively easy evening, and make sure that they put themselves in the best possible position to get the reward of what's available in terms of the Toronto package. So this is a big map. It's about as big as it gets right now in this stage of the competition.
Yeah, and just some news coming through from the chat courtesy of Those beautiful, handsome human beings. It's incentive that actually managed to go through, Pablo. So whoever loses this one will drop down and play the team that is, again, I'm pretty sure that's Zero's roster, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's, again, another talented roster. So whoever drops down on this one is going to have a hell of a difficult series up against those lads. So it looks as though Linny's team with Kels, Crookie, and I believe, so it's Linny, Kels, Crookie, and Genesis. That's the one. Yeah. So, I mean, if they fall, we just had a quick lobby restart, so we'll fling it back. But yeah, difficult game for whoever falls out of this one. We're now down to 3 teams, so whoever comes out on top of this one now, looking good. Obviously, grand final, the other team will need to take 2 best-of-5s on them. So, brand new day. Again, I'll say it. They're probably thinking, please, guys, get it done on this, because we don't want to end up taking another search and destroy against Snackle boxes. Because if you're banking on a team to look good in a game 5, it's probably that Snackle box roster. Oh, Mr. Felix, what a handsome man! Thank you very much, Felix.
Big Felix right in there. Listen, we had that first part of the year where there was that crazy hardpoint meta, and now we're back to relative normality. You know, this game the series can be won and lost on S&D. Right now, those Snackle boxes they've got to dig deep. They really have got to dig deep. And one thing I would suggest is that they haven't really had, which brand new they have got in spades, is like a hyper aggressive, super accurate, plays the life, really good sub right now. The subs from brand new day dominating this. The respawns, they're doing really well. We both saw Pack and Dizzy dropping some massive numbers, 40 and 38 respectively, I think it was. So these are huge numbers going into a Berlin hardpoint. Again, you've got to look potentially to those players. You've got to keep them quiet, and you need your SMGs to go big in the next round. Are we going to see a change? Maybe Johnny picking out the SMG, who knows? So it's a big moment right now. Make these decisions, and they've got to go big if they want to see this game 5. Snackle boxes desperately need it, because they know they can do really well at S&D, but they've got to get this huge mountain is to get over the firepower of brand new day, who've solidified themselves as one of the most capable sides in kind of like Europe at the minute. They're doing really well. Yeah, and
apologies for the spam of C's, Pablo, mid-sentence. Heffy's just gifted 12 subs. Thank you so much, Heffy, man. What a generous human. What a generous human. Obviously running the other beautiful org of Katana Gaming as well, putting in a graft, making sure that all his players have the best opportunity. And Bookie wants a major C as well. So C on top of, there's a lot of C's in the intermission while we get ready for map number 4. But yeah, Pablo, you're looking to kind of, if your Snackle boxes now, looking at this game, you're thinking, right, keep those players quiet. Don't let them drop 40 on our bonds again, because if they end up in a position where they're getting heavily outslain, it's going to look a little bit bleak for them.
I think it is as well. This is about your ARs now. You need to have your ARs set up so that they don't allow that breach in, because that's where the boys from Brand New Day have been so effective. They get into the kill, they get that first wipe, and they're able to hold the kill really effectively. So you've got to be looking to Snake now to do the job, support his SMGs, and not allow their SMGs in close to the kill, in and around. Watch for the flanks as well. This is a huge moment for these guys, and this is where you want your ARs to go big and really allow your SMGs to be able to, get those successive kills and get time more than anything else. So big moment right now for the team in blue. Otherwise, it's going to be a long old evening for them if they don't win this.
Yeah, the main thing for me, strong start. I think if they don't get a strong start, as my COD decided to die. 1 second.
This is definitely a new way
there
to
you go.
cast.
We're back. There you go. OBS just had a brain fart. God knows what happened there, but we're good to go now. So in towards map number 4 we go, and it's going to be Snackle boxes on arguably that preferred side. Going to look to try and get some early control right off the rip. They've got a strong start. They've got to be careful though, because Dizzy already looking to try and make a bit of a flank, but none of that is going to come through, as Johnny's just meanwhile keeping his head down through all the madness and allowing Luke just to try and shoot over the top of him. Sean, last man, with a nice couple of kills there to clear out the remaining players. So called it, Pablo. They needed a strong start, and I don't want to jinx it, but they've had a decent one so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost seeing that kind of like a mirror image of what happened in the first hard point. So a great start for them. If anything, it's miles better. Give themselves a solid 30-second lead. And not only that, we number 7 in runner had the big brain play to come all the way around the back to look to get spawns towards the back of this P2 kill. So advantage definitely with Snackle boxes. And they've managed to, not only that, they're shooting straight. They've kept Isaac quiet though. 0-2. He manages to get a kill finally. A player that has got some huge kills in this series so far. far, been a bit of a talisman for the team in red. Sean, they're going to misread his corner and get tagged up. So brand new day, good opportunity for them to strike back, get some time. And you can see this approach from Snackle Boxes is very much about coming through P5 and just trying to get that control in mid-map.
Yeah, they're trying to get control of the steps and the high ground. Johnny's going to go down towards the bottom area of the hill, and Pac's just going to absolutely fry him there as the shots weren't able to connect for Johnny on that occasion. You can already see that Sean is going to try and work a route here. He's going to also just completely bun off that player, not give away his position. Meanwhile, Runner and Johnny are also getting picks as well. So all of a sudden, Isaac has now got a lot of work to do down towards this dock side. Takes down one, takes down two, potentially on the board for three. No, Snake is going to be all the way out in the back. He's going to have absolutely none of it. And a strong start from Snackle Boxes. They still have the 20-point lead, but more importantly, Pablo, they've got that rotation.
Yeah, they're really nicely set up. There was a huge kill there for Runner as he was over towards docks. Manages to get a fight he should never have won, and that's really set them up for that P5. We saw Snake go all the way to the back and get that shot on Isaac, and that set them up beautifully. It's a bit of a far spawn right there. Number 6 in Johnny W did spawn out towards the middle of long there, so he is going to make his way through. That's going to give one small opportunity. JC going to have to go big. He does get dealt with. Right now, the boys from Snackle Boxes are able to extend this out to about 40 seconds, and it's going to require this team to go big. And you can see number 6 Johnny W just causing havoc over towards Fire. Finally dealt with Major, but this is looking very, very good so far for Snackle Boxes.
Yeah, good teamwork from them. Oh, 20 seconds though. This is a big amount of scrap time. If Isaac can get it, he is going to get the pick, and he is going to at least soak up around 15 seconds. And it looks as though Runner, yeah, I think he realised the importance of quite a sizable chunk of time, even with all those players already on the rotation. And it looks as though Isaac, again, another big kill. So over towards the scrap time. They will still have some presence, but now look at the spawns over towards the old hill as the new hill finally does pop. So all of a sudden, Snackle Boxes, they have got a really rough spawn there. Yeah. They've got to leg it pretty much almost 15 seconds just to even get close to the hill.
Yeah, the time in there was insane. So the guys from Brand New Day able to get that scrap time, but because of the way the fights went down, the boys in blue spawned out over towards the back of Old, despite New Kill being, you know, just started, and that's just allowed the team from Brand New Day to get within 15 seconds. That's so fortuitous for them, but a really good shout to get that scrap time. But not only that, Isaac goes huge with those kills in order to do that. So big opportunity for them to be able to bring this back to some parity. Snackle Boxes, though, on the offense right now, but again, you're seeing these rotations from the Brand New Day. They just look like they've got themselves into a rhythm. They're looking really solid right now, but with 12 seconds remaining, not a lot of scrap time, and they're already trying to get set up for P5, but it is going to be Snackle Boxes who've got the slight advantage going into this last hill with the first rotation.
They will at least know that those players are spawning over towards that warehouse side, but you can already see Dizzy's working a little bit of a pincher, and he's going to slip through all the way to Fire, so they're not going to anticipate that he's going to be here. He might catch a couple of players out off the respawn. Oh, the timing. There's going to be one player just to his right in Snake who's already thinking over for that P1.
Oh, that's so
he's still roaming here. He's been running around for what feels like an eternity. He's finally going to pick Runner up, and now they realise that they're going to have him to deal with over towards P1. Meanwhile, though, over towards Tickets, you've got Snake up against Pac here. An important kill potentially, which Snake is able to win. They've still got bodies on the hill, though. Snake just lurking over towards that Ticket side is going to mean that they're going to have to try and hold those lanes. It's been a bit of a messy hill, as we've come to expect, Pablo, but the main thing is that those red arrows should be spawning for P1, and that, more importantly, is going to be one of the more money hills that they're going to have to try and hold.
It's a Brand New Day win this game. They have got to buy Dizzy a pint, because how haven't Snackle Boxes calmed that he's in Fire, calmed that he's probably going to come through Fire to look for P1 control, and they just didn't even bother to look. We saw both, I think it was Snake and Sean, just head straight for P5. Both of them get bodied, and that's been huge for Brand New Day, who have now got this P1 control in the second rotation and look really good for it. They're going to get a free 10 seconds before Snackle Boxes even get close to the hill, and that's huge plays, and that comes off the back of 2 kills from Dizzy. Huge plays right there. Snackle Boxes finally get in, but Major, it could not be closer. 117 plays 112.
Oh, it's a messy P1. They're just trying to work the pinch time after time. Johnny with one. Can you get a second?
Johnny.
No, the trades. They're going to come through and be efficient for Brand New Day again. That is just one thing they always seem to be on hardpoint. Is so tightly knitted as an outfit. They just always seem to have someone nearby. But now Sean around the corner, he flies, but Isaac again, another important gunfight is just going to allow potentially him to maybe contest a few seconds here because there's not really much separating these two at the moment. A big kill though from Runner to not allow him to get on the scrap time. And he's still going to have another gunfight. Meanwhile, though, there's more gunfights going down over towards the rotation. It looks as though number 2 Pack has managed to slip through himself. He will get tagged up, not quite dropped, though. And while he's lurking over towards this point, well, I was going to say that he might be a bit of a nuisance, but good work here from Snackle Boxes and a much better start to this P2 in comparison to the last rotation.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's still been an absolute battle right now. Brand new day just contesting for everything. A slight lead right now for Snackle Boxes, but it is not much at all. And when you've got Pack dropping numbers like that, he finally gets dealt with. Sean and Runner combining to drop 3/4 of Brand New Day, and that's going to give them a slight opportunity to just push out and get a little bit of control over towards that middle P5 area. They're dominating still, getting the time off P2. That's a solid 30 seconds, and Runner doing an absolutely awesome job so far. He's, quiet start. He's just started to come good, and a case of the caster strikes as Dizzy bounces in and gets a 2-piece, and that's going to be a huge fight back. And 15 seconds is a solid chunk of change to take from a P2 where you've got spawns for next as well. So Brand New Day again put themselves into the driving seat despite this small time deficit. Johnny W is going to get the remaining tiny amount of time, but it's going to be a huge fight major going over to this P3.
Oh, and Isaac, every time we seem to watch him, he gets important kills, and now they've got a lot of control down this dock side of the map. They've got Pack pushed up in fire. The Runner's just picking them off little by little. Can he get another one as well, potentially, to clean out 3 players? He's only going to be able to grab 2, but his teammates have managed to progress in towards fire. Johnny, though, is going to see his teammate Sean fall. And now number 8 Snake looks as though he's going to try and reinforce him as these players maybe go for another push down dock side, but they're going to have to get through JC, who's locked on the heady. Grabs 1 player. Runner going to look to try and beam him out of the back. He's going to at least get a couple of shots into JC, but just by lurking here, he makes him pay as he tags him up once more. And Brand New Day, they're pulling this back. They're pushing this lead out, and all of a sudden the blue arrows collapse. In they go. Dizzy picks off 1. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. A big 2-piece from Dizzy allows his team the opportunity to get the contest in, and for a moment, it looked as though, Pablo, those blue arrows were surely going to get a big amount of time, but they weren't able to.
No, not even get changed, not even get scrap time. That has been an absolute holdover to P3 from Brand New Day with an exemplary setup that allows them to get dockside control, allows them to get back spawn control, and they were fighting in spawn as well. And then you've got players playing like that, it makes it incredibly difficult to deal with that hill. That's put them into the lead. It has allowed Snackle Boxes to get set up, but right now they are being bodied left, right, and center. So you would not surprise me at all if you saw Brand New Day just push onto this P4 and get control. Big moment right now for Snackle Boxes. They're gonna have to dig deep, and mate Pack has just dropped a 3 like no other.
Oh my goodness, they need to get him out. Well, there you go. Nades, and more nades from the boys of Snackle Box. But JC's still here. He's going to mop up 2 himself as well. Not going to grab the 3rd Luke. Still last man standing, but they're still spawning over towards that long side of the map. And it looks as though they will still try and contest this time. 10 seconds, I'll tell you what, the way these two are playing, that's big time for Snackle Boxes, as they obviously force, or look to try and force, apologies, that game 5. And now Dizzy, already you can see the games and the gunfights going down over towards P1, but that kill feed lights up incredibly blue. They've got a lot of map control. Pablo, looks as though Runner's going to finally get on the hill, and I tell you what, they can win off this hill. They probably won't, but if they can get a big sizable chunk of time on this one, this might prove to be the game changer as you go to P1.
Yeah, I just don't think they've taken the right angles there. They've allowed the player to push on. They only had 1 player watching that mid push from Statue, and that's just allowed the boys from Brand New Day to just get a little bit of ground that they didn't have previously, and it's going to require a bit of a regain and a bit of a regain of ground more than anything else from Snackle Boxes. This is going to be problematic for them. Big kills from Runner, though, who goes huge just at the right time. If they can maintain the contest and just got to get the spawns, because right now Brand New Day are back in that position where they're able to get that P1. They've got to make this contest and major right now. Sean just looking to be that player that can potentially cause them some problems over towards P1. Is he going to get the time? And he gets the kill. Huge right there, major. That could be a game-changing kill right there.
Oh my god, Sean has ripped through 3, and he's allowed his teammates to at least get close to the hill, if not inside it. Number 8 Snake, he's going to be trying to keep his head down and leathering bullets into the players that are going to try and force in. It is getting messy on the P1. In go a few more players. Johnny going to try and help him out, but
Oh
Luke
my
has done such a good
days.
job of staying alive. He's just trying to play his life, and that's exactly what he's done. He's enabled his teammates to now get in the hill, but now can Isaac make the play? Down from Secret he goes. No, Johnny makes the read. He's not going to allow him any space to work within. 5 seconds remaining. They've got to try and touch the point. I don't even think they're going to be able to get there. What a hold on the P1 from Snackle boxes, and here we go. Game 5, baby.
Man, my brain is fried. That was so back and forth, but it came down to that really nice play towards the very end of that P5. The boys from Snackle Boxes able to just get a few seconds, push on through, but it was Sean going huge, man. Sean must have got like 3 or 4 kills towards the new rotation, P1, and absolutely dominated, allowed his team to catch back up, get their breath, get into the kill, and that allowed Snake to then go absolutely off in that P1. He dropped 3 players, and that gave the rest of his team the opportunity to get that back up, and they have got themselves that hard point. But look how hard fought it was. But right now, if you're brand new day, that is squeaky bum time right now, because they are going into a search and destroy where they are going to be up against one of the best search and destroy teams, not only in the ACCL, but across Europe. It's a huge moment for them.
Yeah, and a shout out to one of the roguest men on the timeline, Mr. Kez. Thank you very much, mate, for the resub. Thank you very much, brother. He's obviously on that new roster with Mr. Higgy as well, so hopefully we can see some lovely beams from Kez and the reunited duo of Kez and Higgy. I hope to hear lots of encores of the Flood within that team. I'm sure Looty is going to be losing even more hair playing with those two as a duo, but we'll have to see anyways. But thank you very much, Kez. But wow, what a series we've had so far, Pablo. It's only seemed right, really, that we've kind of gone to a game 5 after the amount of drama that we've seen on some of these maps. But we saw map 2, Snackle Boxes, they were very, very good. 6-1, they took that one. They're going into a search and destroy. And after that map, and after that kind of that ending and the clutch situations that, apologies, that Luke had and that Sean had himself, and the team as a whole, they just really, really, I mean, the comms in that one must have been absolutely mad in that one, and they must be feeling themselves ready to go for game 5.
Listen, if this was a Bacage S&D, I would genuinely think this would be a contest. This would be really difficult. Either team could probably take it. Tuscan S&D, though, I think this plays really into the hands of the boys from Snackle Boxes. My God, what a performance, though. They had to dig deep and to really pull that hard point out, because at times it looked like it was going to swing all the way back around to Brand New Day, who did everything right. At the end of the day, it came down to 2 big moments between Snake and Sean to take that. But going into this S&D, I mean, we saw the previous score line 6-1. That was a huge slap right now. Going into this, you've got to be confident if you're Snackle Boxes, and they've got big leaders in there, they've got big voices in there, the call outs. When you've got that much COD history, COD knowledge in there, you're going to have these like super accurate call outs, and they've already proved it. So Brand New Day, they're the team now who has to dig deep and play. They've got to be able to respond to this team who are going to have good control. They're going to be set up well, they're going to play their lives really, really well. And one thing they do really effectively in S&D is they trade really well. So don't expect these huge expansive plays across the entirety of the map. You'd expect them to be relatively close to get the trade. So this could be a big moment for Brand New Day, but I do feel like Snackle Boxes definitely got the advantage right now.
And they again some more love being sent over towards Mulaney, the Queen of Pandas and the sassiest girl on the timeline that I know. Thank you very much, Mel, for the sub. Hope you're well, and hopefully you put the batteries in that bloody fire alarm, because honestly it beeps all day long. I don't know how she does it, but yeah. Map 5, Pablo, we've got a bit of a mixy one here. How many round 11s have we seen on a Tuscan that comes down to important picks, really, really tight margins? We kind of talk about the importance of grenades anyways. We saw the importance of grenades on the control, but you're looking towards first bloods, grenade kills, because we know how tight this map can be to allow players to operate and get picks. It's one where you've normally 99% of the time, right off the rip, if you're going somewhere, somebody's watching the lane. It's just a case of how do you get players out of the power positions.
Well, I mean, we talk about what we expect to see in an S&D. We didn't mention it in the previous one because Berlin can be a weird one, but we do expect to see potentially running with the sniper, looking to get picks down long, or potentially even trying to get picks from fire. Or this is the world star moments we expect to see. Not only if they're not able to get a kill, you're able to get information from it. So big opportunity for a player like that to really stamp their authority in the game. But either way, this is going to be tricky. I expect it to be reasonably cautious. There's a lot on the line. People want an easier night than a more difficult one. I'm almost certain that no one's going to want to play Incentive Esports to get to grand final because that's going to be an absolutely difficult game. So, you know, big opportunity right now. Snackle boxers just need to play the way they played the original Hardpoint. They trade effectively. They get information. They use that information really well. They tend not to. So I would have found with them is they respawn games, especially in likes of Control, they're quite happy to give the responsibility to a player to go and do a job. Whereas in S&D, they tend to do things so they get the trade. There's a lot more teamwork involved. So expect to see that from them. Brand New Day, I still think are going to be relying effectively on great gun skill, big clutch moments from individual players, whether that by Isaac, whether it be Pac, who's been having a really good game so far, or whether it be Dizzy. So they're going to be relying on huge moments, big two paces, reaction kills, whereas Snackle boxers, I think, are just going to, you know, put it to bed in the most strategic way.
Yeah, and we're just waiting on them to press the big red button, and then we're pretty much ready to go for this one. And important moments for important players, and we've seen it time after time with pretty much every single player on this roster has an opportunity, and we've seen it where they've come out the blocks and dropped 12, 13 kills in search and destroys. Pretty much any player on this roster on any side can have moments here. So it wouldn't surprise me if in game 5 we see that potential round 11 and one player maybe on 14, 15 kills. We've seen it before, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see it again. And again, Pablo, first blood's going to be important. Obviously, the composure as well, because we've seen a few times on Tuscan where teams have pulled away 3-0, 4-0, and they've let it slip. So it's not exactly a map where if you're falling behind, it's not impossible to get back. We've seen it time after time. So it's just keeping that composure in these high pressure moments.
Yeah, we've seen some of the biggest kind of changes of fortune on Tuscan Search and Destroy. I don't think it's going to be the case today, but a lot of it comes down to composure and consistency. Listen, if Snackle boxes go 4-0 up, I expect that composure and consistency to remain. They've got enough experience. They've got, you know, the kind of determination that's needed. You've just seen that in the Hardpoint. I just think that the Brand New Day, if they don't get off to a good start, if Snake, you know, this is a player that sometimes can be quite slow off the box. If he goes good from the start, like he did in the previous S&D, and drops 2-3 kills, this is going to be a difficult game for Brand New Day. They need to nullify, you know, the potential from Runner, especially if he brings out the sniper, and they need to nullify, you know, the strategy coming out of the boys. They're only going to be able to do that with the kind of aggression and the kind of accuracy that they've shown in the respawns. They've got to play this almost like a TDM and avoid first bloods. We can see straight from the blocks though, Brand New Day, Snackle boxers, sorry, looking to get aggressive, and it's going to be Johnny W who gets tagged up. Sean goes huge though, and it's going to be a 3v2. Brand New Day still well within this round though, and big shots coming out of fire. Snake tries to get a pick, and Major, we are on the 1 minute mark and still a hell of a lot to play for, with Sean going big at 2-0.
Yeah, so game 5 moments. Sean's already had an important one by picking up 2 kills, and a quick shout out to Wake with the resub. Thank you very much, Wake. What a man, what a man. And
I had a Cardiff right there.
yeah, the most controversial Welshman I probably know, to be honest. So it's now up to Isaac and JC to make the play. Isaac is going all the way round to try and make a pick. Oh, he's not going to check the right-hand side, though. Bomb goes down. There's so many players around him. He's just got to try and pick one. You can see Luke's going to go all the way out the back. Isaac spots him, though. He seemed to have spotted so many players, and after all of that, he's not even going to get the pick. So now it's all on JC. Can he work some magic? No, he can't. First round on the board goes to the boys in blue.
Yeah, I just think the timing was off. I think he comes around the corner and just doesn't catch that player over towards back, so he's not able to get that information and use it in any way. And we see Sean just going to straddle the bomb. I think he's feeling really confident. He's going to get that pick with the MP40, and he's got a 3 streak right now. So a great start for him, great start for Snackle boxes, and coming out of a player you wouldn't necessarily equate with being a, you know, like big S&D. He's gone aggressive. He's done exactly what we would expect a Brand New Day to do. So if the rest of the boys from Snackle boxes start to you know, contribute as well, this could be a difficult S&D for Brand New Day.
Yeah, so again, nades being exchanged. Nobody as of yet has dropped. Just waiting for the inevitable moment where somebody, maybe over Charles, maybe gets a nade right on the bonds. You can see JC again nading in towards their side of you. Isn't going to get the pick, and now he's going to start to shoulder it. Get spotted. Sean, can he get the pick? No, but his teammate can, and there's another one. Isaac going to get tagged up. They're going to look to potentially wrap this bomb, as Isaac's just going to dip out over towards fire. You've still got Dizzy over towards P5. They're in a position now, though, where Snake is literally going to be potentially staring down 3 of them down the barrel of his gun here. He spots one. The call comes through surely for the players to wrap. Snake picks off one. His teammate and runner takes down another one. And now all of a sudden, Isaac, last man up, 1 versus 4. It's looking bleak.
Yeah, and Isaac's, everyone knows where he is. Snackle have just given the information out, so they're quite happy to just sit back now and let Isaac come to them. Right now, it is going to be a huge moment for them in Snacklebox. It's pretty easy win in the end. They knew where he was. They knew he's got limited options. He's either got to make his way all the way back around or get through fire, so get through Top Church. So yeah, weird one, but Snacklebox is just playing exactly how we expected them to do. Great comms, great information gathering. They're utilizing it really well, and more than anything else, they're getting the picks. And Snake playing exactly the role he wants to play. He's right at the back, doesn't have to move that much, and he's able to, like a conductor, just conducts the orchestra. And Snackleboxes right now are playing a tune at 2-0.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden, he's really looking like a rough start. Pac's the only man on Brand New Day with a kill at the moment. And it looks as though Dizzy's got an opportunity maybe for quite a few of them, because the whole brigade, apart from Snake, is going to be here. Going to get some shots out, and here come the boys. At least he takes one down with him. It looks as though Isaac is going to do his best to try and reinforce him. I want to say him, what remains of him, on the floor, as he did get dropped. And again, maybe another pick here on the cards for Snake. Can he get it? No, Pac able to win that gunfight. So now it puts those blue arrows of Snackleboxes in a position where they're going to have to maybe stick or twist here over towards the midpoint. It looks as though Johnny's going to try and work this bomb. Is he going to check up top? Oh, he might got some good timing just underneath Isaac. Johnny has an opportunity now. Oh, he spots the head of him. Can't get the kill, though, and already Pac just going to reposition and try and get the pick himself. But at the moment, it's kind of a little bit of just feeling each other out here at the moment, Pablo. They're not really over-committing to something, but this next pick potentially on the card for Pac could be huge. Oh!
Yeah, runner goes absolutely enormous. That's a big kill as well. Pac, who's 2 and 3, and despite that deficit, still a kill leader for Brand New Day. Johnny W gets a pretty easy opportunity, and that's going to bring it back to a deficit for Brand New Day, who were in that driving seat. Isaac on his own now, and it's going to be a 1v2. Johnny W does get it is runner indeed who gets dropped, so this is going to be a huge fight now between Isaac and Johnny W. Isaac on a 1 and 2, Johnny W just on completely the opposite. And the question is, Isaac's just been so accurate for this whole game. Is he going to read this correctly, or is Johnny W going to get the better the timing again? Major is insane.
Johnny's just checked bomb, so he's not going to check it again for at least probably, you would guess, a few more seconds. Johnny knows he's there. Did Isaac spot him? I don't think he did. He's defusing, though. Johnny's got to go quick. Johnny, quick, Johnny. There, okay. He managed to get it. Jeez. I thought for a second then. Obviously, he's got to check his corners, but they weren't, unfortunately, able to get that cheeky bomb defuse. And at the moment, Pablo, we are seeing pretty much an exact reflection of what we saw on that map too. At the moment, it is all blue. It is all Snacklebox and Johnny with a huge 1 versus 1 win.
Man, if you're another team who've got to come up against these guys, you've got to be thinking, like, we cannot let them dominate us in S&D, because they are winning games off the back of Search and Destroy. They're so dominant at it. They did so well in hardpoint, in that third hardpoint, to bring things back, but really, just this S&D is such a puzzle to break if you're playing against them. Right now, it is going to be a hyper-aggressive push over towards that B-bomb site, and again, it is going to be Snake just all towards the back again, just looking for those reads, looking for that information. Question is, he's seen one player, he's seen 2, and he gets that pick in that ideal situation. He's going to just try and stun out the bomb. Pac is going to look to reposition, but again, Dizzy looking to get round the back as we hit the 1 minute mark. There's going to be a big kill.
Yeah, big kill to make it 2 versus 2. But that bomb has been dropped over towards B. Whether or not they know the bomb is down will be a different story, but Johnny's not able to win that one. He gets absolutely fried. Sean desperately trying to look for a trade here, because he's now in the 1 versus 2. The stun comes out, though. He knows the man's to his left. Is he going to spot Dizzy before and maybe make the play? Oh, no, the timing, unfortunately, there isn't going to help him out in any way, shape, or form. And Brand New Day, Pablo, that is a huge round for them to get. But we saw it on the Berlin. I think it was 3-0 before they finally got around, and then they never saw another round win afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it might have even been 4-0 before they put a round on the board. So really doing a lot better work than they did. But again, that's one of the things I like about Tuscan is it's one of the few maps that's got, like, well, I don't know how you describe it, direct alternate routes. So you don't necessarily need to flank. If you get that kill, you're able to then push maybe through church, maybe through ramp or whatever. But you've got this kind of opportunity to, you don't need to flank as hard to be able to get to that position. Dizzy proves that, gets a big kill on Snake, and then that allows ultimately the pinch to come through, and that gives Brand New Day that opportunity to get one on the board. And this is going to be big right now. They know that they've, Snackleboxes know players are going to be here, and they've got to read. That's huge from Dizzy. He does get dropped, but again, Major Major. We are in the same position as the previous round. It's a 3v3, and there's this push from Snackle boxes over towards blue.
Yeah, just waiting for the right time to push through. Sean, with the bomb in hand, is just waiting for that right moment to push out. Brand New Day do have Pack over towards A, but they've got 2 players here, and it looks as though he might be the busiest of the players here, because it looks like they're going to try and work this through bottom well, through mid. Are they going to manage to get some good timing here? Snake has managed to get in towards Church, and he might be able to make the play here. Oh, he's going to run the wrong way. Oh, man. It's just round and round they go at the moment. Again, Sean is still in mid-map, waiting for that moment. It looks as though they're going to try and clear out the B site before they invite him to join them over towards that area of the map. You can see, though, Isaac's going to be here. Oh, there's so many players around him, but he's just not spotted them at the right time. And at the moment, it is COD timing galore, as those blue arrows are all around him. And unfortunately, it's not going to be the good timing that benefits him, as now his teammates 2 versus 3. Bombs going down. They need to try and clear these players off, but that's a big pick from JC. 2 versus 2. How do they approach this?
40 seconds to go. This is absolutely huge for a Brand New Day. You feel if it gets to 4-1, this is going to be a little bit too far. The time in there is going to be perfect for Johnny W. But the trade is in from Pack, who's gone absolutely huge there. It's going to be a 1v1 Pack versus Sean. 27 seconds. Pack looking for that player, trying to get some information. Sean with the AR from the back is going to give Snackle boxes the 4-1. And again, you've got to fear for Brand New Day right now. A 3-round deficit. Have they even got it in them to be able to bring these 3 rounds back? Right now, Snackle boxes, just the composure, the strategy coming out of them has been immense. And at times, the COD timing has gone their way. So big moments for them. And if you talk about digging deep right now, Brand New Day have got to get the shovels out and dig as deep as possible.
Yeah, and one man that's had such a good series for them and big moments has been Isaac, but he is really struggling at the moment. So if they can get him up to speed, this might be a different game. Well, there's a lot of information. They know there's a heavy mid push, but Johnny gets the first, but Johnny gets a second as well as he looks to try and clean out the whole team single-handedly. A nade into the top of fire. Potentially is going to drop Isaac, and it is all falling apart here for Brand New Day. It's now JC left 1 versus 4. He gets spotted. Days. He gets dropped, and Snackle boxes are absolutely flying.
Mate, they have just chewed their way through Brand New Day. That is an absolute dominant performance right there. From the nade from the outset, from Johnny W going big, to them just even reaction kills aren't really working for Brand New Day right now. Dominant performance from the team in blue. They have absolutely controlled this S&D. Johnny W 7-3, and we say, you know, each of these players will go big at some point, and Johnny proven just why he's so well regarded. Huge plays from him. You know, everyone really is contributed hugely right now. And Major, look at the streaks across the board. That is a 6 streak right there, and there's potentially 1 round to go. Run out with the first blood, so already it's a 3v4 in what could be the final round of this series.
Yeah, Sean's in mid. But number 8 round the back, Dizzy, he might be able to completely collapse on them, and that's exactly what he's done. 2 huge kills. Is now going to keep his team's head above the water, at least for now. 2 versus 3. Sean and Johnny. Can they make it work? Big gunfight. He can't win it, Sean, so now it's all on Johnny. He's having an incredible search so far at 8-3. But now he needs a 1 versus 2 if he's going to see his team through to that grand final in this round. He's still got a difficult position here, because I believe that Dizzy probably knows that the bomb is down right next to him. So Johnny's going to have to try and work a little bit of magic all the way around the back. He goes, spots Isaac though. Oh, and Isaac gets the pick, so they stay alive, Pablo. We've seen it before. Don't want to call it just yet. Snackle boxes are in the lead, but we've seen crazy things before. We'll probably see them again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can never write anyone off. A lovely little duck there as he's managed to get the kill on Johnny W's shots. Just a little bit of riot at the end. It is still match points for the team in blue. Who've done so well so far, but Brand New Day just striking back a little bit. And you talk about Isaac, he was on the struggle bus. I mean, he's still heavily on the struggle bus, but he managed to get a kill that round. And if he can just get a bit of confidence, and maybe he's a very mobile AR. I think if he just tries to post up a little bit and maybe get a bit of information and just get a few kills. But Dizzy has been the star for Brand New Day so far, but there is still a long way to go. Johnny W hyper aggressive over towards mid. He's tagged the player up, so he knows that Dizzy is over there. Dizzy's going to have to play his life. He's going to be heavily tagged up to mid. If that push comes out, it's going to be a relatively easy kill for Johnny W. Just gets sights on him, but he's not able to get the shot. And you can see just how tense this is and the caution coming out of this game. Dizzy, though, with the first blood as he drops Johnny W, and that is huge in this game. And Brand New Day, Major, is starting to throw the cat among the pigeons.
Yeah, Pack's going to have to try and make a play potentially here. If he's going to try and push Runner out of this power position, he's going to go on the hunt. Is he going to check the right corner? Runner goes for the movement to get back into church. He's not going to be able to stay alive, so now it's all on Luke. 1 versus 3 required. They are going to try and stick the bomb, and Luke just got to try and look through the tiniest of gaps, and he literally shoots the toenail of Isaac there as he takes him down. So the bomb goes down on B, and now he's got an opportunity maybe to cause a bit of an upset. They're going to reposition, potentially. Oh no, they're going to try and wrap this bomb all the way round. So I'll be surprised if Luke reads this. 20 seconds left on the clock. They are going to have to be so quick with this one, though, because Luke's going to check this bomb, and as soon as he realizes there is nobody over there, he's going to leg it straight to that B point, you would assume. And it's just a question now of what direction does he go.
I think he's read this, though. I think his complacency and how he pushed through mid and how he's checked A bomb. I think he was 75% sure they'd wrapped it to B. The question is now, though, how does he approach this? Obviously, if he comes around the back, I guess they're going to have someone just waiting with information. He gets that pick, but is he going to finish him off? No, he is not. Major. Brand new day at inching this, round by round right now. That was a 3-round deficit, and now they are back to 2. Major, are they going to do the unthinkable at this late stage in this game?
I mean, the control suggests maybe, but boy, I don't know. I don't know. Snackle Box is obviously dropping 2 in a row.
Maybe.
But, man, I don't want to call it the way these guys are going at the moment. It feels like anything can happen with the way
Call
this
it, man.
series has
Call
gone
it
so
right now.
far. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pussy out. So, in towards round number 9 we go. This first blood again is huge, and Isaac gets the first blood. And look at the aggression that Dizzy is showing. They are completely turning this at the moment as Dizzy's just going to go straight on the hunt. They don't expect the pace. He gets a pick. So too does JC. And now Johnny has to work a 1 versus 4. Isaac spots him. Isaac kills him. And that is another round on the board.
What are we seeing? A Snackle Boxes, man, are they built on a house of cards? Are they about to collapse like a cardboard box in the rain? This is unbelievable right now from Brand New Day, who have gone and eked out round by round. They've got first blood, they've got control, and they're using that aggression. And mate Isaac is very worryingly creeping up. He's on a 4 and 7 now. He was in such a deficit. He's still pretty bad, but he is getting round by round. It is a 1-round deficit. Are we seeing Snackle Boxes throw this away? But Major, have Brand New Day got the composure required to see this to a round 11?
Well, at the moment, you guys can't see it on the minimap, but they haven't actually retrieved the bomb. Isaac will back up to try and grab it, but I think he caught a nade for his troubles while he backed up a little bit. So, has now retrieved the bomb. And you feel like this next engagement here, if it's a red kill, I wouldn't put it past them. So this next pick potentially down long might be huge here. Again, they're just trying to fill themselves out with nades, just making sure there isn't anyone in the power position. JC going to get tagged up. So they know that Runner is back here. They've just got to try and take him out of this position. It's going to be so difficult to progress up towards that A site if they don't have control of that side of the map. And it looks as though now Isaac, he's made the decision alongside his team. They are going to wrap this straight through B. Luke has been so commanding over this side of the map, but now he's got the whole brigade in front of him. How many picks can Luke get? If they collapse here and Luke gets 1 or 2, this might be trouble. Luke's going to tag up 1. He's going to back up. He's going to get tagged up, and Johnny's going to help him. He manages to get the pick, so first blood goes in favour of Snackle Boxes, but the trade comes through. Isaac gets the kill. They're still looking to try and get this bomb site control, but the next pick is blue. Johnny takes down Pack, and he gets away with his life. They're desperately trying to open up a lane for him to plant the bomb, but Sean's on the flank. Sean takes down 1. Last man on the bomb is going to be Isaac. He will fall. Snackle Boxes. It was close, Pablo, but they are going to get it done.
Man, we expected the craziness, but really it just came down to just a bit of control play and a little bit less kind of complacency from the boys, and the shots are going to go out. I think that's more frustration than anything else. The Snackle Boxes should never have allowed that 4-round comeback from Brand New Day, who went huge in the middle of that game, but it's just a step too far, just left themselves with too much to do. They're going to drop down to losers bracket. It is going to be the boys from Snackle Boxes who are going to go into the grand final. They're going to be able to put their feet up for the rest of the evening and watch how things play out. But Major, what a series. We have seen dominant performances in hardpoint. We have seen crazy dominance in S&D, and we have seen probably the wildest game of control I think we've seen all year long. And no blockage. Let's go.
Well, they say it all the time, don't they? S&D wins you tournaments, and I'll tell you what, if they're leaning on it, Snackle Boxes are now in the grand final, courtesy of 2 Search and Destroys in that best of 5. Commiserations there to the boys of Brand New Day. They are down, but they're not out. It just means that they're going to have to try and work their way through that losers bracket. So the confirmation will come through that our next game, which will be starting very, very shortly, guys, will be Incentive Esports up against the boys of Brand New Day. So we're down to 3 more teams. Pablo and Snackle Boxes, they can kick their feet up for a little bit and maybe shoot some bots. Maybe if they can, try and get maybe a mini scrim in. I'm not sure if they want to try and stay warm or anything, but they've done the hard point, and now all they need to do is grant themselves one more best of 5, and they will be on the plane to Toronto.
Let's just, go back to that hard point on Berlin. It was so close at times. Brand New Day just looked like they were going to turn things around. At times, we honestly felt like it was going to be done and dusted there, but they dug so deep. And right now, Sean and both Snake really get those 6 kills that they got between them towards the end of that P1 third rotation, really going a long way to seeing them through to that S&D where they were dominant. But, if you're one of the teams who are coming to play them in the grand finals, you've got to ask the question, are they going to take the foot off the gas at some point like they've done against Brand New Day in that game? Because they really did get complacent, allowed Brand New Day to get back involved in the game, allowed them to get aggressive, get some map control and really come back. So as much as they've gone through, a few positives to take away if you are, and let's be frank, this could be the final. It could potentially be the grand final. So Brand New Day learned a lot of information. They're going to feel positive going into the hard points, and the question they're going to ask themselves is, we won 5 rounds in S&D over the course of 2 S&Ds. If we can just maintain that performance going into the grand final, if they get there, that could be huge. But they've got a long way to go. They've still got to beat Incentive, and then they potentially got to reset the bracket in the grand final.
Yeah, so guys, our losers final will be up very, very shortly. We're just going to wait on the guys to get their vetoes done and lobby up, and we will be ready to go. So we're just going to have a quick short break. As the replays of that previous series, if you did miss them, will be on your screen. And my God, that control was an absolute madness towards the end of it. If you did miss it, I'd really suggest you go back and watch it. And we've had a few major Cs, so I'll do one, Pablo. You got to do it at the same time as me, and I'll give us a bit of a lead in as well. So I hope you're ready for the pass. You ready? 3, 2, 1. So guys, the grand final is waiting, but we got to get through the losers final first. So we'll quickly cut it to a short break, guys. But grab your food, grab your drink. We will be back with losers final just after this short intermission. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are finally here for Losers Final between Incentive Esports, the team that managed to progress through, they're previously known as Team Moon, I assumed, but it's just Moon on the bracket, so they managed to take them down. They are now up against Brand New Day, who obviously lost to the Snackle Boxes lads. And Pablo, at the moment, the way this is going, are we going to get... I just feel like we're going to get an evening of Game 5s at this point. I mean, we don't like to call things and say, well, we got that one right, we got that one wrong, but this one, I don't know, I've just got a feeling we're going to get Game 5 all evening between these lot.
Vanguard's definitely been one of those games where you're either really, really good at hardpoint or you're really, really good at search and destroy. And we see these huge swings in fortunes between the teams, and that's led us perpetually to get into Game 5. So if you're a hungry viewer or a hungry caster or a hungry player, then you need to put that hunger to one side and just concentrate on the game, because we are going to go all the way. Brand New Day just so close to being feet up in Grand Final, but it is going to be Snackle Boxes to go through. And if I'm Incentive right now, I'm worried, because Brand New Day just look absolutely solid, especially in respawn. But
yeah.
if they've learned anything, hopefully they've picked up a few tricks from the Snackle Boxes boys, and they're going to get a little bit better S&D. We've yet to see Incentive this week We have cast over incentive a couple of times in the past, but again, just another kind of like a continental side. It's going to be interesting to see how they play against this very aggressive brand new side. We know how good Zero can be. We've cast over Vrizix a few times. It'll be interesting to see how Trunk and Calvin play. Not two players I'm particularly familiar with, but mate, right now Isaac, when he goes big. Dizzy and Pack can put up numbers. I mean, 32 untraded kills in the hard point is in fact, it might even be in the control is an incredible number to put up.
Yeah, so if anyone who is interested, our maps have come through, and a bit of a mixed bag. Triple Tuscan, regardless, Pablo. So we're kind of guaranteed a bit of medium pace action. But we've got a Desert Siege Search and Destroy that's managed to get in, along with a Gavutu hard point. So it's a little bit of everything, really. Pretty much minus, I would say, a Bocage in terms of pacing. But it's an odd map set after the ones we've just seen, considering we didn't see. Well, we saw the Tuscan Search at the end, and now with this one we got 3 of them. So take your pick.
It's a Tuscan Big Mac. You know it's the Tuscan Big Mac, right? Yeah. But this time the party is a Desert Siege and Gavutu, which we have seen. We've obviously come across a Gavutu hardpoint and a Gavutu control, so it's nice to be back on the beach towards the end. But we are going to be hitting the desert for that first S&D, and it's a really it's probably the most difficult out of the S&Ds. It's certainly got the most amount of elevation. I know Berlin's got some elevation, but in terms of like across the map, you can be in a number of different places. You can get top train, you can kind of get top middle, you can get top tower, you can get top arm. It's insane how many different places you can go on this map. It makes it very difficult to get any kind of bomb site control. Picks are so important, but not always relevant. And again, we've got this lopsided map where there's so much space over towards the left hand side that you know, even if you were able to get a pick there, the fights can still go down towards mid and towards train side, which makes it effectively a much smaller map in reality. So again, you'll see teams going for 2 picks rather than potentially the 1 before they're comfortable getting the bomb down. And again, obviously that right hand side, as much as it's tempting to stack a team that way, it's an exposed bomb site. And then if you hit over towards the left hand side, towards that trench side, towards that field side, like the desert area, then it's although it's a slightly more covered bomb site, it becomes difficult to kind of go to the defense because you've got so much coverage from one end. It's a crazy map, but again, one thing we haven't seen today is any world star performances with snipers, so fingers crossed, Major, we're going to see some.
Yeah, I think in the Desert Siege you normally tend to see 1, especially over towards that kind of that no man's land, so I'm hoping that we see at least 1. If we don't, I'll be very upset, because other players didn't get the memo that we like snipers on Vanguard with all the issues that it's got. We do love to see a good sniper play from time to time. But map 1, Pablo, we're looking at a Tuscan hardpoint between these two. We've got kind of a team that have looked very, very good in respawn, up against a team that obviously today we don't really know where they're at with their respawns. It was 3-1 in the end that they managed to win, so you would assume at least 1, well, it had to be 1 was a respawn, if not 2. They might have dropped the search and won 3. So you're kind of looking at this incentive esports roster. We know the talent that Zero brings to the team, especially. It's one where you're anticipating a pretty close battle here between these two, or at least I am.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what we've seen, a brand new day, incentive usually never have kind of slouch teams. They're usually really good. Zero can put up big numbers. We know how good he can be. For me, it comes down to the effectiveness of Trunk and Calvin, not some 2 players we've cast over a great deal. I think if they can have great games, if they can go toe-to-toe with Pack and Dizzy in particular, that could be huge for them. But Zero, big responsibility on Zero and Vizix right now to go big in these games.
Yeah, so Tuscan hardpoint, one of the more mixy of the maps here, and it looks as though the boys of Incentive, they've got their setup pretty much ready to go. Nade over the top in JC is going to land. Vrizix is going to manage to take Isaac down, but now they're going to try and push in towards you. Dizzy's going to actually grab a couple of kills and some nice shots potentially from Vrizix as he gets started with a nice 2-piece to his name. It looks as though it's a little bit of back and forth in the early stages. We would come to expect, though, that those teams will start thinking for that next rotation over towards P2-0. Going to hit a quick flank round the back. Surely going to mop up 1, mops up 2, looking for the 3rd onto Dizzy as well. Can he get it? No, Dizzy just going to shut him down, but a strong start from the man who we come to expect of Pablo. Zero doing a good bit of work there for his boys.
And I thought Zero was going to put up some numbers then, but it's really just allowed his team to solidify that P1 to get the remainder of the scrap time and take an early lead. But it is going to be a brand new day set up for P2, which is very predictable, and it's going to mean the team in yellow are going to have their first opportunity to try and get a clean break. You can see right now back set up with a 2-piece right there, and that's going to put any ambitions of P2 on the back burner. And as I say that, the man we were speaking about, Zero, manages to get a kill. So Still an opportunity now to potentially get some coverage over towards P2, but they're going to have to go big, and that, unfortunately for them, is not going to be the case as Isaac and JC just look to try and nullify that response. JC gets the kill over towards ramp, and P2 becomes the remit of Brand New Day, who take an early lead, Major.
Yeah, so Pack commanding bottom. There you go, with some nice shots again. It looks as though Trunk will be there for the trade. He's going to go up towards top radio alongside Vrizix and maybe try and collapse onto Dizzy, the lone man on the hill. But if anyone can stay alive for long enough, it's probably going to be him. Isaac is going to trade out, so they will get the scrap time here, Brand New Day, and push this lead out just a little further. You can already see those arrows, though, of Incentive Esports. They are ready and locked into position, one of which is going to be Vrizix. Pack, Isaac going to chow around the corner. They do check it. The trades are clean, so they are going to manage to progress through to tiles. It looks as though Trunk is going to go on the chase and try and pinch out this man in the corner in Isaac, just to make those spawns a little bit more beneficial, because they are winning gunfights all over the map at the moment. Oof, saying that though, Pack wins ones that he probably shouldn't have, as he manages to snap onto Vrizix. But at the moment, early stages of this hill, Pablo, they've got control of the back. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and one of the players we highlighted at the start that we wanted to see go big, potentially someone we haven't cast over a great deal, has been Trunk. He's 6-5 right now with a solid 33 seconds, doing good work for Incentive Esports, but it's not going to be enough to get them into the lead. And in fact, they are going to be about 30 seconds behind as Brand New Day just look to try and battle from the front. And that is some beautiful kills right there from Pack and from Isaac. Ooh. Zero, nice response to a player with superb accuracy. Finally gets taken down by JC, who's going to be able to get dropped eventually. And as I'm about to say, he's about to do good work. Calvin, the other player we haven't seen a great deal of, pushes onto the hill. And Major, that's a nice chunk of time. That was around in about 8-9 seconds of scrap time. Going to go the way of Incentive Esports. But this is going to be a really interesting hill to watch. Close quarter combat. Lots of opportunity for the SMGs to go big. Who is going to come out on top of this final kill in the first rotation?
Yeah, well, the yellow arrows collapse in and they get pretty much all the kills they need to. Really good coordination there from the Incentive Esports lads. They're being outslain by just a little bit, but they are now just hot on the heels of Brand New Day. 15 points there or thereabouts as those Redos to try and collapse in, but Calvin picks up one. Calvin picks up to a player that we haven't really seen a huge amount of potentially on this roster, and he's doing a really good job at the moment from that side of the hill, just locking down the front of Church, stopping those players from progressing in, and Trunk's going to try and catch out a couple of players with some fortunate timing, and he gets another one as well onto Isaac, so another two-piece comes through for the team in yellow. Incentive at the moment, they're starting to get up to speed, Pablo. This lead is now pushing out, and as we get ready over towards the P5, Brand New Day, they do have presence over towards this next hill, and now they're probably looking to try and hold this.
And you've got to consider the fact that Zero's double negative with only 19 seconds. If he starts to pick up kills, if he starts to heat up, this could be a huge problem for Brand New Day. You know, this is a guy we normally see dropping 40 bombs, so right now, definitely off the pace. Trunk again goes to get a kill, but Dizzy with a nice response right there. Zero mantles into fire, manages to get the kill. Nice big kill for him. Zero and Vrizix, in fact, teaming up to drop 3 from Brand New Day, and it looks like the boys are going to be set up on P5 from Incentive Esports to be able to get a nice chunk of time, and it's going to be a big fight right there. Number 8 and Dizzy with a big job to do. The contest goes in, and this is vital right now for Brand New Day, because if they don't get these kills and get onto the hill, you could see a runaway lead almost for Incentive Esports. They've done a great job, Major, right now of nullifying the potential threat that comes out of Zero, though. Great job by them.
Yeah, we're now currently experiencing one of the hills where we've been screaming out for trophy systems. Obviously, they're in the game now. As and when we might potentially see them, we'll have to wait. But for now, those players going in towards the hill, they are just going to catch nade after nade after nade. The trades come through, though, and Isaac manages to grab 3 in all that madness. So he's now on a 4 streak, looking for another one. There's 5. They've got to be careful not to feed Isaac here, because he's now 2 away from the glide bomb. We know how important they can be on Tuscan. There's another one for him. Can he snap onto Trung? Yes, he can. And Isaac is absolutely shredding at the moment. Can't quite get 8 in a row, but the damage is done. He's got the streaks. The contest is through, and Brand New Day with some more momentum themselves.
Yeah, huge plays, and we talked about Isaac right the way through the previous game. He gets huge kills. Sometimes he puts up big numbers, and even when he's in a deficit, he gets the most important kills. He's in the right place at the right time, and right now he has gone off, and it's exactly what Brand New Day needed, because they were just, you know, losing the rhythm of the game. They were about to potentially get absolutely rounded, and they've done a great job to bring it back. But Major, this has been a huge battle. 2 teams that seem to be so evenly matched. No one really taking control of the game so far. We've got Calvin and Trunk doing really well. And on the other side, we've got Dizzy and Isaac absolutely putting up numbers. So right now, not even air between these two sides. It's 130 to 136. And this has been an absolutely crazy game as we hit the kind of like 20% mark in the second rotation. I don't even know which way it's going to go, Major. Right now, it's going to take one player to go big to start to turn the tide for either side.
Jesus, what Pack is shooting rockets. He's dropped him before Trunk could even blink as he wins that one. Isaac and JC, they both pick up kills. Or Calvin, though, reliable again, manages to trade out another player. So it's still brand new day on the point. It's a difficult one so far for Incentive just to even get the trades. But Vrizik's going to take down one. He does have some more players, though, to deal with. He's only going to be able to grab a few, though, as he does fall outside of Church. So Isaac, meanwhile, is just going to be soaking up the time, keeping his head down. He's on another 5 streak as well as Isaac, so he might even potentially maybe call a glide bomb for the next hill. It's not guaranteed that obviously he's going to get that lap streak and another 7, so we'll have to wait and see what he potentially does. Will he use this glide bomb now to see if he can almost grant himself another one? He's going to go around the back of tiles. It looks as though he might just hold on to it for now. So there's 6. He's only 1 away from lapping streaks. And Isaac, at the moment, is on an absolute tear. He could have had 2 glide bombs through all of this. And at the moment, his team are really starting to pull away now.
Man, he is so close to being double positive on that second 7 streak. Unbelievable place. I mean, if that's me, I'm getting to 6. I'm calling the glide in so I can get into the glide, but he doesn't care. He's so confident right now. But Incentive to an absolutely awesome job. Calvin going big, 22 and 17. He's on a 3 streak himself. Incentive are on a 7 streak in combination right now. Huge plays. Make that 8 Major. I'll just have to change it every time they get a kill. 158 to 187. This game is absolutely insane. This is huge time for Incentive Esports, though, as we approach the kind of killing time, the point where, you know, one team can go big and really see this first hard point off. Incentive Esports desperate for this point. Vrizik's goes off, looks to get the reaction trade over towards Arch. He looks to get the pre-fire, but not able to do it, and that's going to be a nice 3 wipe for the team in red there. They're going to get a little bit of scrap time remaining, and that's going to be huge. It's potentially going to push them as close to the 200 mark as possible. Going to see them at 199. Calvin gets another huge 2-piece, and we are back to that close quarter, and look at the spread, Major, from the team in yellow. They are prepared for this.
Yeah, they've got a lot of bodies pushed up for those players trying to transition from old. Calvin locking down the middle lane. He knows JC's around the corner. JC goes out for the chow, but it's going to be the same outcome for him as his teammates. The pistol, though, not enough on that one, as those red arrows are all pushing down that field side, and by doing it so as a unit, they have now completely exposed Trunk on his own. He will fall. Zero's going to try and do his best. He can't make anything of it, and brand new day, they have just completely smashed their way in towards this Church Hill. How many more kills can they potentially get? There's another one for Pack, as he is just causing madness inside the hill, and a second again in quick succession for him, as he now streaks 3 together as they try and push this lead out even further and edge their way closer towards it. Trunk doing his best to try and get what seemed to be a contest on, but now Pack again, keep an eye on him. He's on a 5 streak. He only needs 2 more. There's the 6th. 1 away from the glide. Trunk, oh, he's going out for the chow, and he's really feeling himself, Pack, as he flies around the corner, gets the 7th in a row. His teammates, they do have the presence over towards the next hill, Pablo, and they are getting closer.
Man, that reach out was glorious to get the glide. He drops that, and that's absolutely going to see brand new day into a commanding lead right now. It's probably the biggest lead we've seen in the game so far. 196 to 233. Incentive Esports, though, are going to look to dominate what probably is the most difficult kill to try and remain control of. Right now, they have got 3 players in the hill. They've got 1 watching stairs, and they've got someone just watching bulk. That information going to come through that those players are trying to flood stairs. At the same time, they have tried to push outside, and Isaac goes off in the hill. 32 and 22 kills. Insane plays from him with a 1:32. The glide comes out from back to try and get control, and right now 2 seconds away. Brand new day are going to put the first one to bed, Major.
Well, strong start in the respawn from brand new day. We know what they can do on respawn, and they have demonstrated that exactly there. 250, apologies, to 203 to the lads in red. And Dizzy in the final kill cam just shredding bodies in middle map. So big contributions coming through from a few of their players, Pablo. But Isaac, the man that we've highlighted previously as being very, very good in respawn, has shown it again there with some big numbers.
And it's not just the numbers with Isaac, his kills, the kills he gets, he puts himself in great positions.
Yeah.
He gets hugely important kills. We saw it in the previous round, although they weren't able to get through that series. The kills he got that got them that 2-0 lead and give you to control, this time and time again just puts himself in the right place. And sometimes he doesn't go positive, but the handful of kills he does get, you know, important breaches, the holding kills, they're just, you know, it's exactly what you want, a player who can not only put up big numbers, but occasionally do the dirty job. And they managed to take that Tuscan hardpoint, and it was so close for so long, but they just string them final 2 kills together. In fact, they managed to breach what is a difficult P5 and get control, and then you see that the whole round out. Going into Desert Siege, S&D though, their confidence is going to be low going into Search, and it's going to be interesting just to see how Incentive Esports approach this very difficult map. Again, we don't really know. I mean, I don't know how I would call it, having no experience with 2 of the players from Incentive Esports, but we know, again, we expect better from Zero, who didn't have the most amazing hardpoint to start the game.
Yeah, I think he might be a crucial player with this team. I think if he's not putting up the numbers that we're used to seeing him put up, it's going to be very, very difficult, especially on the flip side when Isaac is doing very, very well consistently in Respawn. And as a team as well, you looked kind of down the list, there wasn't really a player that was kind of underperforming where they had to kind of pull them through the dirt, really, and get them over the line. There was opportunities for Incentive Esports to rack up a huge amount of time. They just couldn't get the kills in order to break in the hills. We saw multiple times, Brand New Day, they managed to open the door to get in towards some of these hills and just flood in from even one particular side. They were very efficient with the trading, very fast-paced, and it was just a case of the efficiency of trades just enabled them to kind of break into hills when they didn't have the rotation.
Right, how many times did we see P4 where we'd see the kill feed go, 3 kills straight to Brand New Day, and then you get one player try and push in, maybe get 1 kill from Incentive, and then it's another 3 kills for Brand New Day. And we saw that time and time again. We saw the likes of JC would get a two-piece, and then he'd be immediately supported by Isaac or Dizzy, who's an absolute nightmare on the map. He's absolutely everywhere. He's just picking up kills, and those transitional kills in support of the way that the rest of the team play just end up getting you the time that you need in order to win, and a huge performance from them. But we kind of expect this from Brand New Day. The real question now is, how are things going to go in the S&D? If they have another performance like they did in Berlin, are we going to be end up in a game 5 with Incentive Esports potentially have got that confidence boost? So big moment right now. If Brand New Day can see this out, man, I can see them back in the grand final. But a big moment for Incentive, and they've put to bed 4 players in the previous round who were superbly capable. They've hit a few Sundays and 2Ks themselves, so big moment for them. Incentive Esports definitely got the caliber, but they need the players to step up now.
Yeah, I think they've got the pot of players here to really cause an upset and maybe get through to the grand final, but as do the team that are sat opposite them in Brand New Day. And obviously Brand New Day managed to do the all-important thing of come out the gates looking good, and they managed to take map number 1. So Desert Siege, Search and Destroy for map number 2. I suppose the main thing kind of when we look at Brand New Day, especially on that Berlin, Pablo, was it felt as though they kind of gifted away a fair few first bloods. It felt as though every round they were kind of in a position where it was a 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3. It was very, very rare that they put themselves in a position where they gave themselves an easy job of taking a round. So it was one where you're looking at them now and you think, right, just make it easy on yourself. Play it slow, play it patiently. It's what we're used to seeing on a Desert Siege Search and Destroy anyway, is kind of players being forced to slow down the pace and play for a pick. And you feel if they can do that, then their Search and Destroy gameplay will probably benefit them a hell of a lot more than it did in that previous series that we saw.
Mate, you're incredibly spot on there, mate, 100%. The 5 rounds that they won in the previous series in S&D, largely in part came down to them slowing things down and just being a bit more cautious, getting a couple of picks or getting 1 pick and then playing to their natural strengths, which is speed, aggression and energy. They've got that pick, though. They got the information so that they can respond effectively with that right kind of aggression. The handful of rounds that they lost off the blocks, largely in part, was just kind of playing it like a pubs match. So slow things down, get your pick, and then play aggressive seems to be the thing that Brand New Day could do. But Incentive Esports, you would expect they're going to have a reasonably good S&D. Otherwise, they're going to be in problems in this series.
Yeah, so first blood, there it is. It's yellow, and it's on the side of Incentive. Isaac does reply with 1, but you can see already that Calvin is up towards his top tower. It's a really difficult power position to budge someone out of sometimes. And now 2 versus 2 situation is now left. Dizzy and Pack going to try and work this bomb, but you can see number 7-0. He's made the read. There's 1, takes the man with the bomb down. And now Pack, last man up. 1 versus 2 in this opening round. You can see the split of players, though. He does have an opportunity to maybe get a pick if he commits to one side of the map here. He is just going to reposition back in towards the middle building. And although he is over towards his A site, and those yellow arrows are, he doesn't have the bomb, so not going to be an easy position for him to retrieve it and plant it with those yellow arrows pretty much nailed on where that bomb location is.
Yeah, and they've spread out. It's a clever play. We've seen this before in Desert Siege. It's been kind of the fashion since the start. Try and get that information, although he has really played this well. He's not seen that player.
No.
How has he not seen that player? Oh my days, Incentive Esports get the win. Really nice play from them. Again, though, I just feel that the boys from Brand New Day are kind of hyper-aggressive and sometimes really silly plays that's cost them in the end. Just overly aggressive kind of running through mid-map, just being exposed, and you know, Zero able to get a free kill as the players kind of come off that top bulk area to get to the B-bomb site, and they're just in the open. It absolutely blows my mind at times, but yeah, 1-0 to Incentive Esports, looking good right now.
So again, called him out for it. First blood. Brand New Day going to try and break this trend. No, they're not. It's another first blood that just goes in the favour of the opposite team. Zero going to take Dizzy down. And Pack, you love to see it. Sniper out. Does have a nade as well. Just going to probably check the bomb with the nade. Meanwhile, his teammate JC is going to be busy over towards the side. Did he see Zero? Well, he knows he's there now. And you can see number 7, Zero, getting really aggressive. He knows he's there. He's tagged him up. He gets the pick. He needs help from his teammate, though, in the form of Trunk. And Trunk's going to have to try and maybe help him out. Never mind. Trunk gets Pack, but Isaac's going to take him down and trade in response. And again, Pablo, another position where Brand New Day need a clutch. And it's going to be Isaac, albeit of all the players, you're probably picking him. But that bomb's down, and it is not going to be easy.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a really nice setup. They're going to have information. It's going to be a pretty easy kill in the end. And Incentive Esports doing everything correctly, setting themselves up to not only get information, to get that first pick. They know where everyone is by that point. And look how easy it is for Calvin. Just sat out in the trench. A nice, easy pick. And Incentive Esports looking really strong right now. More worryingly for Brand New Day, they continue this fashion of just being, you know, relatively appalling at S&D. You know, even if they manage to bring this through, say they take control on the hard point, they're going to have to come up against one of the best S&D sides in Europe. So right now, big moments. And Brand New Day need to dig deep right now. They can't allow this to go 4 or 5 rounds.
Oh, and Rizix, he's got the memo that we like snipers because he's now joining them as well. Bomb's going down, though. And meanwhile, JC gets the pick. And Rizix rips the head of Dizzy there after he gets that bomb down. There's another big gunfight going down over towards the back, which JC is able to win. So now in a position where it's a little bit easier for them now. They've got the bomb down. They've got 3 players still up. They just need to get this round over the line. You feel it's a really important one here for Brand New Day. This is a bit of a regain round, if anything. So, Pack just waiting patiently for that next engagement. Trunk's been spotted. He gets taken down. Isaac, good work from him. Now Rizix just going to try and spot the head of him over towards that trench. Is he going to manage to spot it in time? He's only got 10 seconds left, so it looks as though he's completely bunned off the idea of getting the bomb, and never mind. He's going to catch bullets, nades, you name it. It lands on him, and he's going to fall. So round on the board finally for Brand New Day. Yeah,
really nice as well. And we suggested that they needed to get one earlier rather than later. They don't want to be in the same position they have been in the previous games. They brought it back nice and early. It's good to see. I think this is a much more evenly matched teams than the previous encounter where they just look so off the boil. And you've got to consider, Major, Pack's on 0-2 right now. Dizzy's on 1-3. If these guys can get a little bit more involved, give Isaac some support, this could be a completely different game right now. I suppose the argument could be Rizix and Trunk in a very similar position, although Rizix, let's give him some due. He is sniping. He's managed to get 1 pick. Right now, this is going to be huge. Brand New Day and a good opportunity to tie things up and get that parity back.
Yeah, and Rizix still waiting. Oh, there you go. Spots ahead of Isaac. A little bit of runny bump. Is he going to get the pick? Isaac's still...
Don't say that. I've had it all week.
Just waiting. And he spots Pack. Oh, somehow! I have no idea how he's got a hit marker with that one, because he must have shot him square in the face, if not the chest. So it's going to be a hit marker. And Isaac gets first blood. So Brand New Day, much better. They get another first blood on the board. Oh, and just sliding across there was Rizix. Just dancing with death a little bit. You've still got Dizzy inside this middle building and Isaac over towards the right-hand side. But you feel this next pick for Incentive is going to be big, and it's not going to go in their favour. JC with another important pick, and it's falling apart now for them here as Rizix is now the last man up.
Yeah, huge plays. 29 seconds to go. A clutch with a sniper. in a 1v3. It's a lot to ask. It's not impossible, but honestly, Brand New Day looking very good for the 2-all, and really, really nice regain from these boys who've had an absolute struggle today at S&D. Well, they've proven that they can hang, and they are now in parity, and they're looking good, Major. They actually look like they potentially got that little bit of confidence they needed coming into this S&D, and maybe that's going to push them through. Right now, everyone playing really, really well, getting that support into Isaac, because right now he was the lone man. Pack still kind of on the struggle bus. He is rocking the sniper though, but again, he's getting the information that's going to feed that back to his teammates. 2-all, and we head into round 5. And honestly, Major, again, I wouldn't want to call it because I do not know which gate this game is going to go.
Yeah, it's back to evens now. Well, that's all we do know. So level playing field. Oh, Zero getting caught with an nade, and it's not going to be enough though because he manages to get the first blood onto JC. Dizzy though, a lot better with the trade. Now makes it 3 versus 3. You can see that Vrizix is still commanding over this right-hand side of the map, so it's going to be difficult for them to push. Trunk's going to pick off Isaac as well through all of that, and I think they might have got info that there's going to be a few players potentially underneath. They are just waiting for that right time to push. Trunk has got eyes over this side. Likewise, Calvin. Oh, he's on this balcony. I don't think they're going to see this. Does he see the end of the gun? Surely. Spots the barrel of it. Flies around the corner. And, oh, no, he doesn't get the kill. All of a sudden, Trunk's now the last man up. Dizzy and Pack. They've just worked the absolute duo madness. And somehow, he just slid straight into the bullets. And all of a sudden, Trunk's the last man up.
Mate, it blows my mind. You've got Johnny W looking to get penetration over to on Gavutu control in that middle building, and a guy from Incentive can't get a pick through some wood. It blows my mind. It's going to be a Pack now in a 1v2, manages to kill the other player. It's going to be Trunk with the difficulty. 26 seconds to go. The timing is unreal. Pack's got that information. He knows how far away that player is. He's just going to back up and look to get different reads. He's got the MP40 though. This is a reasonably dangerous maneuver with 14 seconds. If he does get spotted, he knows that player hasn't got down to bomb. Finally, does look like the player is just ready and waiting. He's jumped off though, and again, that information. He's going to get the kill from Trunk, but with 4 seconds remaining, it's not going to be enough. Incentive Esports are going to go behind 3-2. Nice play from Pack and Brand New Day.
Yeah, just playing it smart, playing the timer. I thought when he saw him down that lane, I thought he was going to take the shots on, but he doesn't. He has confidence in his ability just to knock that clock down, and he manages to do it. His team manage, more importantly, to put 3 rounds in a row on the board. So this is more like it from Brand New Day. And it looks as though with that momentum shift and the kill from Pack, it's all red at the moment. So we'll see whether or not Incentive can try and get a regain round of their own, because as mentioned, this map has not completely flipped on its head. And again, you're looking towards the first bloods. Pack with the sniper might get the first one. Oh, he zooms out of the sniper literally the second the Incentive peek the corner. They're just going to try and see if they can potentially get the man off the bomb. Double Nade's going to head over towards Calvin. He is going to get tagged up so they know one's there, but bomb goes down. How quickly are they going to try and get Trunk out of that middle carriage? They're going to manage to grab the pick, and there's another one for Pack as he just rips the Swede off of Calvin. They are defending the bomb from distance, though, with Vrizix with a sniper. He goes for the no-scope. It's not going to land. Zero, last man up. Going to try and stop the rot here. He's going to go round and round. He's going to get trapped inside. They're surely dead to rights. He is. Meanwhile, the defuse was going through regardless. And another round on the board, Pablo, for Brand New Day. That's 4 in a row now. Looking good.
Mate, they are so composed. It's like watching a completely different team. Composure, strategy, information. It's being passed around. They look like a completely different side. You've got to think, is Desert Siege their S&D map? Do they need to maybe play that as their trump card going, if they get to the grand final against the boys from Snackle Boxes, is that their trump card? Or, they purely reacting to Incentive Esports? Maybe Incentive felt this was their map to have. But one thing that is important is Dizzy has managed to join his mucker Isaac on 7 kills, and right now everyone from Brand New Day just starting to contribute. It's looking very, very good. They look so composed on this map though, a completely different side to the one that we cast over in the previous series.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be Zero down this right-hand lane. We saw this before where he got tagged up with an A, but someone managed to get the kill as well, so AC, not quite wide peeking it enough to get taken down. You can see the stalemate that's ensuing, and Zero's managed to work his way up a lane, but Vrizix, meanwhile, picks off 2, and Zero gets the 3rd, so a much better round here from Incentive Esports. It's now going to be Isaac, last man up. These are 1 versus 4. I think he's been spotted as well, so this is going to be difficult. Calvin tags him up. He's desperately trying to scurry away for his life. Zero going to go for the challenge as well. Surely takes him down, and he does, so Incentive going to grab a regain round, and they reduce that deficit back down to 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I think incentive just utilizing the fact that the boys in red were just a little aggressive, a little exposed. They did that kind of more natural push that you expect to see from Brand New Day, kind of into mid, and it's just lost them a little bit of momentum. Incentive get a couple of kills in very quick succession. They've got the information they needed, and they're able to constrict and then get that final kill. Good play by them, a nice rebound, really more than anything else. This game was starting to slip away from them, so a big moment just to put a check in the Brand New Day box right there and say, you guys, we are a decent S&D side. Don't start to rest on your laurels. 4-3, one round in it, and a nice play from Incentive.
Oh, Jesus, holy aggression. Zero going straight up the top. He's going to grab one. Can he catch Pack out? No, he can't. Rizix, can he win his engagement? Yep, so he's going to manage to get away as well, surely. You would anticipate after getting that pick and no one nearby for a trade. So 2 versus 2. A really important round here for Incentive to try and clutch up. Calvin is right by Pack at the moment. Not going to check the top of the tower where Pack is. That bomb is down in a really awkward spot. Zero was the man in charge of bomb, and he's dropped it right up the top of tower here. So this is going to be really awkward for Incentive to try and retrieve. You can see JC. Oh my goodness, he's so... Oh, Calvin. Oh no, he needs a pair of my goggles. He missed him. Pack's going to get the pick, surely. Surely he spots JC. There you go. In the middle of nowhere, Calvin now makes it a 1 versus 1 Pack. Got to be careful not to peek it, but he manages to get the beams. Oh my goodness, in a position there that Pack potentially didn't even need to chow. He had the bomb up with him, but he makes him pay, and Calvin just rips him off of that tower.
What an absolutely, the accuracy, unreal shooting right there. Pack probably doesn't ever want to pop his head out of tower ever again. Those shots unerringly accurate, and Incentive Esports do a great job. For a minute there, I honestly thought that he was going to miss JC lying down. Genuinely thought, Calvin, you're going to fluff this, mate. But thankfully, he manages to push through, gets the pick, and then gets the 2-piece, puts himself at 5-5, and mate, it is 4-all. And right now, again, we said it earlier on, the 2-all, couldn't call this. Huge plays by Chunky, but it's a 1 kill with Pack, able to trade them out. It's going to be a 3v3, and Bomb is potentially going to go straight down on B. Nice aggressive play from Brand New Day, but they've done this before, and they've absolutely fluffed it. So big opportunity for them to just keep that bomb site control. Rizix, though, does get tagged up, Major, and it's going to be 30 seconds. It's going to be a 3v2.
You feel that Zero's going to have to try and make the play here, but JC is just watching this entire cross, gets the idea, and gets the views that he's there, takes Zero down. So now it's all on Calvin. Can he make it work? No, he can't. Another round goes on the board for Brand New Day, and a team that has struggled in Search to Destroy, Pablo. They are now one round away from taking this one and going 2-0 up in the series.
Man, they've literally fought against the convention. We thought they were going to struggle in S&D, but at times they've managed to do 2 things. They've managed to play completely differently to the way they played in the previous series. They've been cautious, they've been under-aggressive, but in that round in particular, they got the pick, they got bomb site control, they got bomb down and controlled the map really effectively. They had a player out wide, and they got some information from a player who kind of sat towards spawn. So really clever play from them, and hopefully they're going to take this, if they do get this round, and if they manage to get to grand final, they've got to take this kind of form in S&D to that final. Right now, Pack, Isaac, and Dizzy have gone absolutely off, and Zero manages to bring it back. He's 8-7 right now, but Incentive Esports do not write them off at all.
And big first blood again for Brand New Day. And what an angle that was from Dizzy through that. JC going to be watching over towards the B site. Dizzy still bottom mid. Looks as though they're going to try and maybe progress up. You can see surely any second. Oh man, the timing on that is criminal. So he's going to fall. Isaac still above, and Zero takes down JC. So all of a sudden, this round has completely fallen apart, as now Isaac is now the last man up. Incentive, they showed a hell of a lot of patience, but now can they get the man off the bomb? Can he get the man off the bomb? Bomb goes down, but he takes down one. Does he spot the other man as well? Oh, but Vrizik spots him, and all of a sudden, Incentive grab the round, and round 11 beckons.
Mate, this is all about composure now. Which team has got the nerve? Are they going to hold the nerve? And it's about calling the strat right. I mean, if you're attacking, are you going to just absolutely go for broke and try and get that bomb down? Control the time more than anything else. Force the opposition to potentially come out strong. And it's going to be Brand New Day who've got to do the job right now. They're in defense. Incentive Esports got the attacking round. And it's going to be interesting to see Incentive have been relatively cautious on the attacking round. So big opportunity potentially for Brand New Day to go big. Oh, they're going to be going home. Shots are fired out, Major. It is going to be 4v4 as we approach the 1 minute 10 second mark in this round 11.
Yeah, Pack still watching that lane. He will not budge. Oh, but JC gets first blood. Just needs to keep his head down. Surely the call that the nade has landed right on his head is going to come through. And never mind, Pac's actually going to watch over the top of him. So it's now Calvin that falls and leaves Trunk and Vrizix up alive. And Trunk gives his position away. Does take Pac down, but he needs to get out with his life here. It's absolutely paramount that he doesn't get traded here. So he gets a pick. He gets away. He does what he needs to do. But now can Vrizix manage to catch out Isaac out the back here? Is Isaac going to make the read? He's above him at tower. Oh my goodness.
No, he's still
It's literally going to come down to some potential timing here. Isaac, does he spot him out the back? I think he spots him. Isaac's just not moving from this pre-aim. He knows that he's got the heady, but Vrizix is going to put a few bullets in him. But now Trunk falls, and now it's Vrizix on his lonesome. They know where he is. And that bomb, Pablo, that is in such a difficult spot. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, this is looking almost impossible.
It's looking very, very bleak for Vrizix. 3 kills, 13 seconds bomb. He's got so much work to do. This is almost inevitable. There's not a great deal he can do. The jump shot comes in, and it's going to be Brand New Day who get the win. Not only did they get that round 11 win, but they're going to go 2-0 up in this losers final. It's a huge improvement on their previous S&D performance, and they're just looking really strong right now. Major Incentive just fell off. 2-all. They just looked like they were going to be doing quite well, and then all of a sudden Brand New Day just regained, and more importantly managed to reset, and at 2-0 they're looking very good and going into a potential control game where you've got to say they are potentially the favourites to take that.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going into a respawn again, so they're going to be licking their lips at this one. They've done pretty much what we considered to be maybe a difficult ask of them to kind of clutch up on the search and destroy, and that's exactly what they did. They gave themselves quite a big cushion before Incentive actually managed to work a bit of a regain themselves. So it's now a position where they are now like, right, okay, we get this done in 3. We've got another respawn. Can we do it again? And you're looking again to the likes of Isaac to really kind of bring his team home in this one and push them into that grand final, because it wouldn't surprise me, Pablo, if we get another absolute banger, regardless of the team that goes through. Obviously, you don't call it just yet because Incentive, they can still do a reverse sweep. Obviously, if we see a really good performance in this one, you could all of a sudden justify that they might be able to make something work. But Brand New Day, to be fair to them, they've looked very, very good on respawn so far today.
I think the main problem for Incentive is that even if they take the Tuscan control, we know how good Brand New Day can be on the Gavuto hardpoint. So it's already going to be a problem. It's already going to be, they're going to need to go absolutely huge. And right now, I just feel like Zero and Vizix aren't firing on all cylinders. It just feels like they're slightly off the pace in comparison to the other players on Brand New Day. Incentive have got to go huge now. This is a massive moment for them. I think Tuscan Control is not going to be the easiest game mode or map to really deal with Brand New Day on. And again, we've cast over this team a few times now, and they confound expectation. 2-0 up already. They're looking really confident and going into this Tuscan Control. I just think they've just got enough in the tank in terms of raw aggression to do well. Yeah. And now they've proven that they can mix it up in terms of strategy as well. So every opportunity for them to just 3-0 this and be straight back into grands.
Yeah, so when we call this one, if you're a betting man, I think you go with the Brand New Day potential 3-0. We've not got the Gavuto, though, Pablo, that we saw in the previous series, which was quite an emotional roller coaster for us anyways, for understanding what was going on, obviously, on the Tuscan now, one which is pretty much you think, right, hold your defensive rounds, try and get as many ticks as you can. That's normally the fundamental stuff that we tend to see, obviously, now with no influence from kills. It's all the ticks now, isn't it? So it's one where teams can still gamble a bit more, give away a lot of lives and go, well, okay, it was worth a shot. The defensive side is a hell of a lot easier than attacking at times. But again, we call it on Gavuto, make a B push. We've seen teams do it before where they make a B push, and because everyone is so used to teams just not doing it, it's just one where you can really catch some teams out, and we've seen multiple times, probably more often than not, I would say, the B push on Tuscan works.
You know what the thing is, like, the difference for me is that on Gavuto, there's no way to go through. You either rock beach, rock ring to get that B push. There's no doors to worry about. You've got to maybe deal with a player who might be using troop carrier as a potential heady, or maybe even on pushed up to ring. On Tuscan, you've got to push through. It's a couple of doors. If you're going straight through tiles, you've got potential defensive enemies being at either side of those walls. Yeah. Even if you're pushing through church, obviously you're going to see players potentially pushing through church in defense anyway. So it becomes really difficult difficult to get that B push and make it effective, because your players, even if you send one or even if you send the whole team, could effectively get cut down en route to B. So I still think it's important to do it. It's just a lot more of a risk on a Tuscan, where potentially the A site is so stacked in favor of the attacking team that it might be, there's an argument to say maybe just get that 1 minute 20, get you 2 minutes 20 at time and just try and do B. But I mean, I have to agree with you. I think if you can get one player to B, stop that clock, get some time, distract to the opposition, I think it's a good strategy to employ.
I think as well, for incentive, just slaying power. I think that's the one that we need to really run on, kind of hit home with this team. Is they need to try and, obviously Mat 1-0 was very quiet by his standards. I think if he comes to life in this one, then there's no reason why you can't justify that incentive will really at least give Brand New Day a good go, if not take the map off of them. So you're looking to almost a consistent performance across the board from these players. I mean, we kind of saw that Snackle boxes, especially on those maps that they did well on, pretty much everyone was pulling their weight. It's very rare that you tend to see kind of these teams that have a good map have one player that's struggling and one player is doing really good. Usually everyone's kind of doing at least the bare minimum to remain even, if not positive. So you're kind of looking at that from incentive to just not have a straggler out of the four.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every player needs to come good, and this is what we were talking about. Zero needs to absolutely step up. He needs to be that talismanic figure that can suddenly drop 30, 35 kills in control, and that's going to help his team, give them the opportunity. If you're one of the other players is struggling, and you've got a player dropping 35, it allows him to get into positions that where if they weren't dropping 35, they wouldn't be able to get into. It's just going to allow your other players to get kills and and affect strategies where normally you wouldn't do that. So big moment right now. This is why you need one absolute lunatic slayer, just so that the rest of your team can affect the strategies you want to employ. So this is a big moment for Young Zero. He's got to go big right now, because this could potentially be their final opportunity within this Toronto Cup to really do something. This is the precipice right now for the boys from Incentive.
Yeah, say that the well, no pun intended, the incentive is there for them, because obviously whoever manages to take this one is going to be all aboard on the plane to Canada, for drinking maple syrup through straws. So it's one where, again, there's so much to play for these guys, and it's a huge opportunity for whoever takes it to be able to go over there and again represent EU COD. This is the drum that we bang all the time, is the ability of the players, and it will be interesting to see, obviously, with how successful the EU lads were at the Minnesota Rocker Open, to see how a team that isn't necessarily, because obviously the top 7 teams weren't allowed into this one, to see where the next level down was finished. Because if they get a good performance themselves again and Europe performs well, surely again it's another position where you're like, hello, EU COD's pretty stacked at the moment.
I'm the wrong person to ask. How biased I am. Honestly, say we take an example, and Snake's team get through, they should win. They should win the whole thing. They should be allowed to go into CTL, and then they would win that as well. I'm completely biased to EU Challenger COD, so I'm the worst person to ask. I live in a complete dream world. I was devastated that the boys in Wardy and Beans weren't able to just tip it over the edge. They did so well, though, and did so well individually and as a team. But this is a great opportunity for 4 of these lads to potentially, they only need to just scrounge the money together for the flights, accommodation sorted, team pass sorted. Just get yourselves over there and just show what you can do, and make some new friends, make some new contacts, and just and just get EU COD even more known. And know for a fact, all of you guys like Brody and Infinity and Brody and Enigma and that are 100% behind the idea. And even some of the Americans are like, they love EU COD and they want it to do really well as well. So big moment right now, though. Incentive Esports have got to go big, or they're going to be going home very early doors.
Yeah, so now how can they work this incentive? They're going to be on the attacking side first. You can already see there's a couple of players literally charging through towards that middle section of the map. They're going to maybe try and look to pinch those players, but number 4 Frizzix has managed to get himself through to the B point. So already there's going to be a lot of attention over this side, and Frizzix is there. He's got 0 with him as well. So already the thing we flag up all the time, stack the point. That's exactly what they've done. 2 players on it, and now going to force those red arrows through, and they are bottlenecking through, and 0 is cutting them down one at a time. There's the trace from Calvin. There's another one from Calvin as well, as he now gets on the point. And now stack it, boys. This is all you need to do. Second tick is done. They're desperately racing to try and get a contest on here. Pack, can he do it? It's getting messy. Pack gets one. They've still got a man lurking in the back, though, which is Calvin. He's still somehow managed to stay alive, but after all the madness, Pablo, they've got 2 ticks.
was a mind-blowing B push, and they did so well to get as many kills as they did. But now they're rocking 2 B ticks, and they're about to rock A as well. We talk about this tactic all the time. Zero, not enough though. Pac manages to get the jump shot. I have no idea did he run out of bullets in the handgun. That shows you just how epic this control's been already. Dizzy going huge, looks to get the pre-fire through the doorway, not able to do it. Trunk manages to deal with Dizzy, but huge plays. 8 points secured, nearly 2 minutes left to get 1 tick, Major. This is by far the best opportunity that Incentive are likely to get on an attacking round to get this B push over.
Yeah, they need to try and coordinate it though. They can't afford to be too reckless, but they are flooding through, and they are, to be fair, trading out a few lives here and there. It's 15 plays 12, now 15 plays 11 as Rizix with some nice shots over towards the outside part of P5. He's going to take that one, but Isaac is just going to absolutely leather him with almost mortar-like grenades as it lands right on his pond. Zero just going to peek the corner. More nades coming through, though. You can see the presence that they've got. They've got all their ARs in position. Now they're going to try and push through. Trunk leading the charge. His players are behind him. Can they trade? Trunk grabs another pick. They've still got 2 players out the back there. JC's going to get taken down. Can they manage to push these players over quickly enough to get a contest here? They've still got some players on the point. Isaac, though, with some absolutely beaming shots to take down both Rizix and Calvin, and his team are going to breathe a huge sigh of relief as they manage to reduce the life deficit just down to 1 as well. Big plays there from him.
Oh my days, Isaac goes absolutely huge. And we talked about him earlier on. Even though he's in a deficit, he's only 4 and 5. Those 4 kills are enormous right there. I mean, they were looking absolutely pushed to the brink. It's 9 lives, plays 8. Huge plays coming out of Incentive though as they get another pick. Are they gonna do this by lives? Plenty of time, 42 seconds. It's 9 lives, plays 6. The picks go out. JC going big towards the back of this tower area. Brand new day now with no respawns. Oh, that is huge, Major. JC manages to nearly bring these back to parity. 30 seconds remaining.
So it's pretty much S&D with 30 seconds plus 1 life for Incentive here. Oh no. They're bottlenecking through, and I'm a little bit concerned that they might get peppered with a few nades, but the nade from Zero right over the top lands plush on Pac's head, and there's a kill coming through from Calvin. So now 4 versus 2. They need to make this work, and now it's Isaac, last man up, gets the first pick though. Isaac manages to somehow wallbang him through that. Is he going to check the corner? No, Rizix is going to get the pick, and a big round for Incentive Esports, Pablo. They take the opening round, and it's an attacking one.
Mate, that was absolutely wild. We've accused Brand New Day of being hyper-aggressive, but Incentive Esports came out firing on all cylinders. Straight to B, straight early 2 ticks. Gave them the opportunity to get the 8 ticks down, and by the time they hit that 1 minute 50, in terms of that extra minute, they've only got to get 1 tick to B, and they played their lives so well. Huge plays, and we pulled it earlier. Calvin's gone big. Zero, though, is the player that we talked about. He needed to go huge. He's dropped 9 along with his mucker Calvin. That was huge plays right there from Incentive, giving themselves the opportunity, and we could well be seeing huge plays out of these, and that is a big 3 streak right there. 3 kill feed. My mind is blown again. These games have been epic.
And Rizix still going strong with 3 in a row. Got to be careful though, because Pac's staring right at his head, and it is going to be a nade that takes down Pac. Isaac will get a pick as well, so Brand New Day, they're just going to opt to go the A point first. Calvin is going to work his way into you. He's got to be careful though. Oh, Calvin somehow wins that one as well. Surely the trade. No, it's not going to come through. He's going to manage to dip himself away into mid. So good use of that movement there just to get away in the nick of time. There's still players chasing him down though, and that's a full man wipe. A point. Yep, that's done very, very quickly. But now this is the point where by not going for B first, Pablo, it's going to be difficult because pretty much Incentive, all they have to do is bunker down.
Yeah, absolutely huge plays by them as well, and I was seeing good support as well from each player. They're playing the lives really well, and the boys from Brand New Day look a little bit off the boil right now. JC with some windy shots. He didn't have a large amount of space to deal with, but Zero goes huge with the 2-piece. Absolutely rocks the world of Brand New Day, and right now 19 lives, play 16. They needed those kills desperately. I don't think Rizix realizes there's a player behind him, but it doesn't matter. He gets the kill anyway. JC definitely fell off the boil. Can anyone stop right now? He's on a 4 streak. You've got Calvin on a 2 streak. Incentive Esports, Major, making us eat our words. They look absolutely nailed on for this control right now.
Yeah, this is what we're used to seeing from these players on a respawn. Absolutely madness caused by Rizix just flying over towards tiles, and it's just as well that he managed to do it because he pushed the life count down, but more importantly, he's bought some time. But hello, opportunity. Nope, never mind. Trunk just makes the smart play, makes the flank. And Isaac is going to lurk over towards Platt, but he's got a hell of a lot of bodies around him as they slowly start to hunt him down. You assume Incentive are just counting and assuming that he's here because they haven't spotted him in a while. And surely the trade comes through. Yeah, so Calvin, nice work, mops him up. But they still have a few players in the back here. And I'll tell you what, if they take Calvin down up top here, this is going to be difficult, but Calvin holds strong. They still have the man on the point, though, packed with one. The trades, are they going to be clean enough here? JC is going to manage to take one down. So now 9 plays 4. They've still got an opportunity at this one, Pablo, but the life count is looking very bleak. They don't have any more respawns, and now they're down to 3.
Yeah, and the thing is, the 4 lives, they really needed to just take a little bit of a breath. They've got 40 seconds to deal with. They really needed to team up and step back. And Incentive have been gifted around there almost. You know, the life count was so close at one point, but again, huge plays from Incentive Esports. You got to look to some of the kills coming out of Calvin. No, time and time again, he's got these big 2 pieces, and he's on 19 and 12. He's the kill leader throughout the game right now, and he's an absolutely blind and, you know, control round. And right now, Incentive Esports looking to just tip the balance back towards themselves, and if they do get this round, they're going to head into the hard point with some confidence.
Yeah, so onward push into round 3, and holy single file, they are flooding over towards the B point once again. Pack is going to be here a little bit quicker though than last time. Takes down one, can't take down another. They still need to try and play these trades efficiently. Do brand new day, and for a lot better last time. A lot better this time, sorry, than last time round, as they do manage to clear those remaining players out. But as mentioned, they do open a bit of a doorway to get on this A point, and they are going to take one down, and Grizzix is going to get a second as well, but the pinch coming through from Dizzy, runs out of bullets. Oh, and the shots, they're not going to collide enough, even with the pistol and the SMG bullets, and they're going to make another line over towards this B point, Pablo. The option to potentially triple stack was there, but they're just going to go for the double, so they're on the A point, they're on the B point, they're getting the kills, and this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge plays coming out to that. We've still got Trunk trying to defend that B site. He does absolute work, but it finally gets taken down. But the important thing, Major, we are back into the same position that we were in round 1, where they've got 2 ticks to B, 2 ticks to A. They've absolutely stacked that A site. They're going to give themselves 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So all that time's being eaten up, and we talk about this strategy time and time again. If it's effective, you give yourself the maximum amount of time to get the least amount of ticks. It is huge plays coming out of Incentive. Calvin on a 24, 0 on a 21. Heroic plays, and Major, we could potentially see a 3-0 in control and back into hardpoint, and we know we're starting to smell that game 5 right now.
Oh, Jesus. Well, they wanted him out. Grizzix is going to try and help his teammate out after he got absolutely smothered with players. And Dizzy on the back isn't going to make the read that Trunks here. He's now in the back, and he makes the read. Oh, whoa! Oh, my God. JC wins a gunfight there, which I can only dream of winning, as he absolutely fries him off of the heady on that one. We know how difficult that is to collide the shots, but when you're flying around the corner at that pace, to be able to do it is an absolute madness. And Isaac trying to keep his head down as the nades come over. He is going to get a pick, though, onto 0 in a position where he might not have expected to. And Pack just lurking underneath this point. It looks as though Incentive, they are just waiting for that floodgate to open. But where are they going to try and push it through? It looks as though Pack's going to make the flank. He's just going to double check, but he's going to get caught, and he's going to get taken down. Calvin is still lurking near towards the B point, but with 1 minute left, Pablo, they haven't got many more pushes at this.
I mean, 11 live space, 11:50 seconds. This is going to be an interesting strategy. Potentially, you know, 2 pushes towards the B point is a time to try and get some picks, get a little bit of control, and 0 tries to get the flank, gets the kill. He is going to be on there, so they're going to need to contest. Brand new day, going to need to push up. That's going to be another one for Calvin, nearly a 3rd one for 0.
Pack.
It's going to be Pack goes huge, but Calvin on the point gets the drop, and that's going to be a 2-piece for Big Back. Calvin is there again, Major, to put Incentive Esports into a commanding position. They've 3-0'd Brand New Day, and it's 2-1. They brought themselves right back into this game.
There's your regain map. There's your typical Vanguard regain map. I almost said Vanguard map. So, wow, what a map there from those lads. You can see the kills come through. Calvin 30 and 14. What a map from him, and I'll tell you, momentum is an important thing, Pablo. They've completely stopped Brand New Day's momentum, and now all of a sudden they're in a position where they're thinking, right, Siri's still alive here.
I mean, Calvin's gone huge in that game. 0's gone huge, but that is a statement map right there. 3-0, 2 attacking rounds. That is crazy plays from that team. And, you know, you've got to think, taking that kind of firepower, man, 0 is warmed up. Calvin is warmed up. Hitting the Gavutu hardpoint, this could potentially be Incentive's moment to just bring this whole series back even, and then we're going to be hitting back to Tuscan for the 3rd time. I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's get to the top of the Big Mac and it's going to be potentially a Tuscan S&D, but they still got to do a job on Brand New Day, who are definitely, they are no slouches in this game.
Yeah.
They are not in hardpoint. They are an absolute beast to deal with. So big job still it's still all in the hands of Brand New Day right now.
Well, one thing I was going to say is they managed to do a very good performance against Snacklebox on this map 1. This was the one that 250 to 171. They managed to take this one against Snacklebox Brand New Day. So we know they're very good at this map. So you're looking at it and thinking, right, okay, if they have another repeat performance, that sees them into the grand final. So Incentive are really going to have huge performances like we just saw in that map if they're going to look to try and take this one out the clutches of Brand New Day, because we know they are very, very good at this map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to require. We've still got to request that it's a big mountain to climb. It is a bit for the boys from Incentive. We saw the pressure that the boys from Brand New Day put Snackle boxes under. It was relentless from the outset. They got a really strong P1. They rotated effectively. Isaac was an absolute monster on this. So do not be surprised if Brand New Day are able to put Incentive to bed. But you've got to hope that Incentive Esports are going to be able to carry that momentum on from control into the hard point. It's a big ask, and honestly, if you were an odds kind of person, a betting man, Brand New Day still in the driving seat. They've got the lead, and they're going into a map we know that they favor. So big moment for them, and this is going to be, they could get themselves back into the grand final. And while the things have happened, they could see themselves flying to Toronto to be the extra EU representative in that tournament.
Yeah, and obviously as an outsider, it's one, especially because they're not paying for the full shebang. The team that goes, obviously they're paying for flights, they want to do well, but the pressure on them is a little bit less because they're just pretty much happy to be there. I suppose they can kind of go there, kind of relax a little bit. Obviously for some of those players, they will have been to LANs, others potentially might not have been. Obviously not maybe on that kind of stage, but it's one where they can kind of, whoever gets it can sit back and be like, right, we are just here to have a good experience regardless of how it goes. I mean, even just to get through this ACCL Toronto Cup, through the gauntlet, the amount of games that kind of these players have to play just to get there. It's no easy feat for anyone just to even get there for the starters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the thing. They've got to go through an intense gauntlet of some of the best players, who are below that top 7 seeds. It's huge for them. And if they can get there, anything can happen. They could get bracket blessed at Toronto. The team that eventually goes in could find themselves doing reasonably well. So, regardless, at the end of the day, you ask any player that's been to a big event like that, it's a great experience. You're going to be, meeting other players. You're potentially going to be meeting some of your heroes. You're potentially going to have an opportunity to make new contacts and reach out and see kind of strategies, hear other players and how they talk about Call of Duty. So many different opportunities there for you. This is why you've got players like Luty and that who've been playing for a long time, who still got the passion for it, because they know, once you hit that LAN, how good it can be. So big moment right now. Brand New Day in the driving seat to get back to grand final. Incentive Esports really do need to try and go the extra mile now and get this hard point under the belt in order to take this to a game 5 where they know they can probably put Brand New Day under pressure, because it's another S&D, but they've got this hurdle over towards Gavutu. They've got to do well on the beach though.
Yeah, it's one where you've got to obviously keep the hype and the momentum going, but on this map you've got to keep your head as well. You got to, if you got to take the difficult decision to chalk a hill off and rotate,